The Elder 6 on that.
If they come out with Elder Scrolls 6, I would leave Skyrim in the dust. I wouldn't.
Well, of course, everyone would, just like everyone left fucking Oblivion in the dust.
Let's put it this way.
I'm still gonna play 5.
So we know that Doom.
All right, are we gonna? Okay.
No, shh. We know that Doom is probably best played on a PC. Right.
Yep.
But putting it on a Switch. Okay. You see where I'm going with this?
But how does it look on a Switch?
It probably looks like garbage.
It has nothing to do with how it looks.
No.
This comes down to
the idea that I can go on my lunch break and be like, okay, I'm going to play some Doom on my lunch break, and I'm going to play some Skyrim on my lunch break, makes it fucking awesome. And then I pop it into my TV, and I'm playing on my TV like it's 2011. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do. Welcome back to the Emergent Gamer podcast. This is your host, Locke.
Hey,
Just
period.
Happy New Year.
Really trying to hammer that home.
Happy New Year, Locke.
Happy New Year,
guys. We're here for episode 150. The
150.
The first of the new year.
Yeah, we took a while, but it was good.
Like a month.
The break was good.
Yeah.
You know, we got to relax a little bit.
Yeah, we had a lot. We had a lot going on.
There was a lot going on. A lot of events.
A lot of events. But we're here.
Next episode is the Mew episode. That's a Pokemon.
Oh yeah, that'll be in 2 months.
What in
Down to one episode a month now.
What the fuck are these nerds talking about?
No idea.
know.
But I was gonna move past it because I figured someone somewhere listening knew what he was talking about.
Yes.
They're chuckling in their car.
Yes. Here they are. So what are we doing this evening? We're going to get caught up in what we've all been up to for the past few weeks. And then we're going to talk about our games of the year. I know it's a little bit past the new year, but
I got 5 now.
we're going to...
Yes.
It's great, man.
But we deserve a turn at that conversation.
Yes.
Emergent Gamer deserves a turn.
Yeah, so we're going to...
GSM just put theirs out last week.
Right. We're going to talk about our game of the years, like our personal lists. We're going to land on what the Emergent Gamer podcast game of the year is.
Official.
We're going to most likely hit the biggest letdowns of 2017, and then also try and hit what we're excited about coming this new year in 2018. We're just going to keep a time check, see how we're doing those. That's what we're hoping to hit. We're definitely going to hit the first 2 topics, what we've been up to, and then our games of the year. But we're hoping to maybe run a little bit longer this evening since we've been away for about a month. So Felix, do you want to start with what you've been up to since the last time your voice has been heard over the airwaves?
Yeah. I mean,
you don't have to.
No, I was
like,
going.
nah, I'm good.
I was going to.
Okay. You seemed caught off guard by that.
The Trip and Neo should be happy to hear, which they've already heard, but audience members might not have heard. I now
Definitely not
now
heard.
own
No
a-
one's in the studio
I now
for us.
own a Switch.
Yay! The Switch Fund is no longer a Switch Fund.
So you guys,
It's now a new PC.
you guys ever watch Parks and Rec?
Yes.
I'm currently rewatching it because it's the best show ever.
Okay. Do you remember Treat Yourself? 2011.
Treat yourself.
So I was walking.
2018.
Right. I was walking through the mall, and this was in 2017. And I looked over. I had bought all my gifts. I sold stock, by the way. This is the first time I've ever done it. I sold stock to buy gifts for family.
Nice.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
I sold
That's what they're
extra
there for.
stock.
Season of giving.
I'm not going to lie and tell you that I didn't have any kind of preconceived notion that maybe a Switch was on my plate.
Sure.
But I wasn't sold when I walked into the mall that a Switch would be in my hands when I left. I wasn't sure because I wasn't sure how Mrs. Felix would respond to the Switch. So basically, we were walking through the mall. I bought all the gifts for my family. And then I looked over at a GameStop, and I just said to her, and she's a huge fan of Parks and Rec, and I just said, "Treat Yourself, 2017." And she knew exactly what I was talking about. She goes, "Let's go get it." And I went over, and I had enough money to buy a Switch, and then I realized after buying all the gifts for my family that I had enough to buy Switch. I bought I don't know, wireless controller. I bought Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Odyssey, Skyrim.
How have you been eating food-wise? Have you had enough money
I'm
for
all right.
groceries and things like that?
Not only that, I bought a brand new TV for the Switch, which you all see right here in the studio.
Nice. Is he not cutting the rest of us checks from this show or something?
He said after he bought the gifts. I think he might have bought the Switch and stuff first.
No, I didn't. I swear to God. Ask Mrs.
I'm going to hit the Switch, and then maybe I'll hit the Hallmark store for an ornament. You're an ornament ant for sure.
Now,
nice scented candle.
The only thing I'll say that made me really feel great about the purchase was when I went to my family's for Christmas Day, I brought the Switch. Because I bought it like a couple of days before Christmas. I set it up, and the minute I realized it was a magical device was when I was on the TV, the main TV that my family were supposed to watch the Eagles game. My dad wanted to watch his Eagles, you know.
Eagles, yeah.
Killing it right now, man.
And my dad wanted to watch the Eagles, and I don't give a fuck about the Eagles. They can lose.
Are you saying Eagles on purpose?
Are you doing
Yeah.
this? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a bit. It's a bit.
I was
I was starting to get worried because
The
I thought it was
Eagles-
like a one-time joke, and then I realized that he was rolling with it. And I thought it was actually what he
It's
thought.
like when
the
you're in
word
an
was.
episode of something, and they're like, why are you saying
The
that? Like
Philadelphia
that? They're like,
Eagles.
what? Why am I saying what way?
Yeah. Oh, God, I
The
get so
Philadelphia
nervous.
Eagles. Anyway.
You're still saying it a little weird.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Keep going.
Eagles.
So you're playing the Switch on the TV with the Eagles.
So
Jim Sapala wants to see you in
my
IKEA.
dad wanted. What? I didn't even know what you just said.
See ya in IKEA. It's that
Jim
radio
Sapala.
commercial.
baby. Yeah. That's crazy.
All right.
It's just Philadelphia.
All right, finish your story. I want to hear your story.
My dad wanted me off the TV because he wanted to watch the Eagles. So what did I do? I walked over, picked the Switch up, and everyone in the family got quiet and watched me walk
Oh my
over
God,
and
it's like
just
a
start
really?
playing
Swish
it.
commercial.
And my dad goes, "Did you just pick that thing up and walk over there and just start playing it?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "That's pretty amazing." And my dad doesn't care about game consoles at all.
Yeah.
Sure.
So when I did that, like it was just shocking, and then I just sat down and popped some headphones in and started playing.
Dude.
And then the other moment that was amazing was I bought Overcooked. Overcooked is a game that I have played with Snacks the Cat from his PS4 live on my stream. I bought Overcooked and did a 4-person Overcooked. Unbelievable experience. I had Pat Mox, P Mox. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
I had P Mox and my sister
On tabletop mode.
and my other sister. All what? No,
On the TV?
no, on the TV.
cool.
And I had my wireless controller, my Zelda exclusive controller, and then 2 Joy-Cons.
Yep.
And we all played, and we all had a ball. Like just all of us just playing together. And it was so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
Nice, dude.
I had such a great time.
If I may interject,
go
I
ahead.
too had a Thanksgiving story. I don't remember if I told it, but my cousin also is a Switch owner, and he uses it to travel. He works for a traveling theater company. He's in Jersey. He's in a traveling production of Jersey Boys.
oh,
okay.
cool.
Shout out to
Wow.
my cousin. Yeah,
That's
So
a good
The
play.
like the equity one, like the Broadway.
yeah. I mean, it's pretty tight. I saw him when
Yeah.
he came to Delaware, and it was pretty.
That's dope.
Pretty awesome. But he bought a Switch, so because he's on the road and he is obsessed with Rocket League. But one thing that he did have on his Switch was the Jackbox party games. You ever see those?
I have actually. Yeah.
They're awesome. They're essentially a bunch of mini games that anyone can play. No controllers required. You just need a cell phone, and you just log in using the code they provide you on screen.
That's kind of like Hidden Agenda.
Kinda, yeah. And it's party games. So there were
It's
8
pretty-
of us.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
gathered around this Switch on the table, and we were all
you're all
playing
playing that?
Jackbox. Yeah,
That's pretty
So
cool.
that was like another like Thanksgiving family.
And it's not the same company that makes the Hidden Agenda.
No,
Okay,
not the
cool.
Sony.
Just
that
same concept.
Until Dawn developer. No.
Okay,
This is
got it.
it's like a party game. It's like a. I want to get one of them, but I need a reason to get it. I need like
Right.
more than
First time
5 people.
I saw one of those Jack in the Box games.
Jack in the Box.
Yeah,
Jackbox party.
Jackbox. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
I was watching Mac and Cheese, Please. This is Jeez and Crow's girlfriend. She's a streamer.
Oh, yeah. I've watched
I popped into her stream for the first time after meeting them at TwitchCon.
Great
and she was
streaming
playing
game.
that
Great
with
streaming
her
game.
viewers, and everyone was super into it. It was like a really good idea.
everyone can get involved, and then whoever's winning or scoring, you see them on the screen. So it's like
was
really cool party game.
So to wrap up, I really mostly bought the Switch because I wanted to play Breath of the Wild, and now that I've played it, I understand why.
Give me some impressions.
Well,
shouldn't he do that in his list?
I am going to do that in my list.
Okay,
because it is on the list. But
fair enough.
I've been wrapped up in the game, and I absolutely love it. I think it's the most amazing game.
So now you understand what we've all been like gushing over.
Yeah. And I also did 10 minutes of Mario Odyssey, and I will tell you, without even playing that all the way through, that's an unbelievably fun experience.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like the fact that you use the Joy-Cons to whip the hat. Joy-Cons to whip the hat. Yeah.
We're from Philly.
The fact that you use the Joy-Cons to whip the hat around is just the coolest thing.
It's funny. I never played with the
I
feature.
love it with the Joy-Cons. I'm going to play the whole damn game with the Joy-Cons.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And that's it. So that was my experience with the Switch, Overcooked, Super Mario Odyssey. Oh, and Guns, Gore, and Cannoli. Had a lot of fun with that one.
Excuse me? Guns, Gore, and Cannoli?
Guns, Gore, and Cannoli is mildly offensive to Italians, but it is quite good. It's a side-scroller Italian mafiosa killing zombies game.
All right.
Sweet.
That's the best way to explain it. And then
cannoli.
The only other thing that I got into that I was completely shocked was an amazing game is Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Right. You did mention that.
I'll talk about later as well. I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to go?
Oh, is it me? Yeah, for sure. So what have I been up to? I've been exploring my Steam library a little bit more now that my PC is set back up. So I've been, this was not too new, but I've been diving back into Portal 2 because I was playing.
Yes!
I was playing the Bridge Builder, the new the game that's out on
with the Portal edition.
Yeah, it's Bridge Build. It's all Portal stuff. Bridge Builder. You got to get a bunch of cars from one area on the map to another, and you build bridges and have to do support beams and
all physics
suspension bridges
based and everything.
Physics stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of fun on iOS. I heard it's coming to Switch too. Snacks the Cat was saying it's coming to Switch. It's going to be
don't mess with my heart.
That's what Snacks said. Yell at Snacks.
Yo, everything on Switch 2018. Just saying.
But that made me want to replay Portal 2 because of like GLaDOS and everything. And I just love that story. So I was going through that, but then I'm like, well, let me really get back into like a Kerbal Space Program and all that stuff.
Oh shit.
Yeah, really doing the computer thing. But a game-related project that I've been doing is building myself a little retro console on a Raspberry Pi.
It's awesome.
That is awesome.
I've been digging into that.
How is that working? Do you use any controller? Any USB controller?
Right now, I've got my PS4 DualShock 4 set up as the controller,
and that works just fine.
It works fine. I have it wired. I haven't set up Bluetooth on it yet. I just have to put the right code in to make it work, but it's possible. It's got a Bluetooth card on the Pi that I have, and then at that point, I just sit wherever I want and play whatever I want.
You just have it hooked up to your TV?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
HDMI. So
do you have it in an enclosure, or you just have it?
Yep, it's in a little black shell.
Yeah.
What? Sorry, you might have mentioned it. What games are you playing on it?
Well, I've got about maybe 100.
It's like an emulator.
So all of them.
Yeah.
He's been playing.
What's cool
game.
is, all of them. It's actually a built OS built on a Linux base called RetroPie. The struggle was just actually getting that working onto a computer that's got nothing onto it, right? Understanding how that all works. So that was really the meat of the project. But once I got it working, it's actually really easy to send games over. The OS is built really well. It's got a built-in scrape function to look through a games database and pull in box art, descriptions, ratings, player number.
Oh, great!
So I can just like flip through it, and it looks visually good on my TV.
It looks like you're scrolling through a catalog
library. Yeah.
What console are you pulling this from? Like what era of consoles?
Right, it can do everything up until PlayStation 1.
Damn.
Oh wow! So you're putting in like original Nintendo. And
it'll
Super
emulate
Nintendo.
N64, but the hardware of my Raspberry Pi, it's like it skips and drops frames. It's not really made for it. You're not going to get a good experience. But PS1 and down,
perfect,
beautiful,
great.
Yeah. Damn, that's a lot of games. It's a lot of games.
It's awesome.
What about is there MAME in there?
Is there what?
MAME, like arcade.
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you got arcade.
It's got
games
support
in
for
there
that
as well.
too. Yeah.
But you didn't put any of those in.
Not yet, but I could.
Oh,
I just
really
do a little FTP login over my Wi-Fi and just
drag
send those
over.
files right over. Magic. I'm learning a lot. It's a lot of fun. But it's at that point, dude, it's plug and play. Any console, any game, streaming as well. It's HDMI.
Mm-hmm.
Sound and video scooped right out. Makes it really easy to do that too.
One project I wanted to do with a Raspberry Pi was, have you seen those magic mirrors?
What kind of magic mirrors?
So you essentially hook a Raspberry Pi up to a monitor, and you impose that monitor behind a mirror, or you make it reflective. So then you can have
You build like your own arcade.
No, it's not
Like,
even gaming related. It's just
like those hotels that have a TV behind the mirror kind of thing.
Kinda. I want like imagine if your your bathroom mirror told you the weather, the news stories of the day, your calendar, and all that stuff. It was just like a HUD for a mirror, but the Raspberry Pi is powering that
powered by
behind
that.
the screen, so you could have like the Raspberry Pi do things like that.
Yeah,
that's the one thing I've wanted to do.
Tell you things about your day.
Yeah, like you hook it up to your Google Calendar or whatever. Hook it up to your. It pulls data from the news of the stories and
that's
the weather.
The biggest, that's the biggest thing about working with the Raspberry Pi. Like I didn't build an OS for this. I made the computer work.
Right.
But already I understand how to like troubleshoot Linux, how to work in the command line, how to
get
send
that
files
sudo
over.
on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I literally do.
You know what I mean?
But now my brain is like expanding out and thinking, oh, I can solve this problem by doing this or implementing this or doing some other crazy kind of projects. Like I don't even need to use a Raspberry Pi for this. I can just order myself a little board with a little cheap CPU and
put your own stuff on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Felix hates the idea of all of this.
No, I've never do it.
I mean, like it could all fall apart. For a while, it didn't. Like I spent day
believe me, I'm
with it not working.
I'm not pissing on you doing it. That's right up your alley. I completely
is,
understand that about who you are as a person. But like, dude, man, I want to fucking break that PC over there.
Yeah.
Just give it to me. I'll fix it and give it back to you. Just give it to me.
Yeah. No, everything's good. Everything's working now.
Okay, cool. Glad to hear that.
But it's very frustrating. Anyway.
But yeah, that's been my little projects.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
that's a cool project.
Also, I know I keep talking about streaming. I'm not streaming there yet, but another thing related to like setting up and coding and workflows and all that stuff is I invested in Palette years ago on Kickstarter.
What is Palette?
Palette is modular, customizable controls for your computer. Buttons, knobs, switches, dials.
Oh my
physical
God.
controls for like Photoshop or for editing software
or Kerbal Space Program
or Kerbal. The thing is, it also
I've dreamed of this.
It has a keyboard mode, so you can essentially assign this any shortcut for any application that uses keyboard shortcuts. So what I've done with this is make it like my own version of an Elgato Stream Deck, where I can just make certain things happen by pressing buttons automatically, just like
This
like
is what
go
your text
live,
meant, wasn't it?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Oh man!
So that's going to be implemented into that kind of stuff too.
It's like a control board for like a producer or like someone controlling
a switcher.
A switcher.
Let me show you a picture. It's literally modular,
a live switcher.
Modular controls. So you can in real time
swap
take
out
these
stuff.
things apart, re-snap them together. Each one thing has its own set of pins and then connectors. You can rearrange that in any layout physically that you want.
That's awesome.
Program, change the color of the border. It shows you what your app is, what you're using currently. But yeah, I can snap that one button off, put it on that side.
That's so cool.
You can assign a button to like a macro set, so you can just double the amount of buttons you have by just like flipping through your sets for shortcuts.
This is like such nerdy shit, but I love it. I want this thing.
Yeah, I
want this.
It's been like a hardware break for me, really diving into this kind of stuff.
God, I love hardware so much.
Yeah. So
by the way, CS is this week, guys. Just want
I've been reading all about the TVs that are completely unnecessary.
What?
CES?
CES, Computer Electronics,
Consumer Electronics
Thanks, show. Yeah. Razer announced
where they first showed off Xbox.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Razer announced a laptop where you can take your phone out, and it's like a phone laptop.
It's like the hardware version.
Yeah,
of
NVIDIA launched
Their
large format displays.
Their
gaming
4K G-Sync.
Large format, like 50-inch gaming monitors.
Oh yeah, so
It's the
HDR G-Sync.
It's the hardware version of E3.
Vive's got a new higher res. HTC has a new high res Vive out too.
Yep, saw that.
Higher.
Yeah, we're not talking about news this week.
Anyway, that's
plenty to talk
me.
about next.
That's
week.
me. That's me. Who's did you do your thing, Block?
I didn't.
Do it.
No.
Do it up,
well, first we're gonna go and give a shout out to Mr. Neo Aoshi.
That's
who
me.
Who made all of these things possible. Neo. So I now officially have a gaming PC.
Hey,
joined the master race.
There it
I've
is.
joined the master race. Thank you. It's been pretty awesome. So Neo was gracious enough to come over and help me assemble.
Gracious, like pretty much, I was like, just let me come over and play with it.
Can I just come help you build it? Because I really wanted. I was like, yes, please come.
I just want to look at a graphics card in the box. I want you to open it, please.
I
smell it
really quickly. Before,
so you saw his new house?
Yeah, it's very nice.
I've never seen his new house.
I saw like 2 rooms, but yeah, it's great.
Yeah, he walked through the living room and got to where the gaming stuff is. But yeah, he saw that part of the house.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice place.
No, but the side note, first time ever holding a graphics card, and I could not believe how massive,
how much
how much of a thing it is.
It is bigger than the Nintendo Switch.
Yes, my
And
1080
heavier.
is. I couldn't believe how big of. Like I just couldn't.
It's heavier than you think it is. There's like
everything
so much
about
metal
it
in there.
Everything about it was just like,
thick.
what am I
Girthy.
holding?
Girthy.
Yeah.
Nice and
Definitely a very
girthy.
But yeah, I finally decided. Felix, I didn't want it. I was waiting till now, but I am also selling some shares, so I decided to sell some shares that I was holding because I'm going to be buying some more shares soon, and between gifted things and whatever. So
That's why I broke down and
playing the
said,
stock market, baby.
I felt comfortable.
I decided, like, obviously, like this is using it as a long-term investment, but this is something that I've wanted for a long time, so I decided to just say YOLO and do it,
YOLO,
considering
bitch.
there will be a baby soon, and I won't be able to do that for myself ever again.
Right.
So this was my last treat to myself for a while. So I have the PC, and that's all I've been doing.
We've been playing PUBG together.
We've been playing PUBG together. Yep.
Which
so
is
I have.
so much fun.
So I purchased essentially everything I already own on console, kind of like you guys buying things you already own on Switch.
Indeed.
But I have. I've essentially been playing, and that's how I feel. Everything that I have is better. Yeah.
It's true.
But it's actually true because it is actually better on the PC.
A real in-depth, not conversation, just yell
Pre-show.
Yeah, it's gonna be. They will already have heard it.
Don't promise them anything.
I'll put it in the front.
Don't put it in the
Don't
back.
do that.
Put it in the back.
Don't do
But
that.
anyway, so I have
You don't get
PUBG.
anything.
So I've been mostly playing PUBG with a sprinkle of Overwatch.
And it's way better than Xbox.
Yes, I am playing PUBG at 1440p, 140 frames ish per second.
G-synced.
And that's also an awful game, like graphics wise.
It
looks fucking phenomenal.
But every time I guess let me put this out there. I was playing like Horizon or whatever,
Right.
And then I would go back to PUBG on my PC. I'd be like, "Holy shit, the frame rate!"
Right.
And
it's everything.
It's instantly noticeable.
It's everything.
The difference.
Yeah. I am going to have a. I was saying this to Snacks today at work because he was asking me what I've been up to, and I shared that I have the PC, and I told him I probably will never touch my Xbox again unless I go back to play with specific friends.
You feel slower.
Oh, the
feel
frames
like
are
you're
everything.
playing through sludge.
Yeah. Anyone who says frame rate is not
the
important.
PlayStation I will probably go back to for exclusives.
Totally.
But I
Yeah, 'cause
really
there's no way to get those on PC. Right?
No.
not exclusives for the
Yeah.
most part. The Xbox exclusives now have the Play Anywhere, so I'll most likely be able to play any exclusives for Xbox on my PC.
Any single player experience PC.
Right.
Like
So-
State of Decay.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll
That
see.
might have crossplay.
We'll see. We don't know. But yes, I've been playing PUBG, sprinkling some Overwatch, getting into CS:GO. So I have those.
we should play that.
You're doing CS:GO?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I will reinstall that.
Yeah, please do.
Let's do that.
Please do. So I bought because I had the PC during the winter Steam sale, and I couldn't go overboard because I kind of went overboard on the build itself.
Sure.
But they had a Valve starter pack that came with every version of Counter-Strike, every version of Half-Life, minus Black Mesa. Original Team Fortress, Portal 1, Portal 2, which I was going to talk to you about because I've never played Portal, so I'm really excited to
really?
do that.
Wow.
How was I supposed to play Portal?
Well, I've even.
That's a really good point.
I-
They had the orange box
Yeah.
on Xbox, but I didn't
Yeah.
buy it because it
And
was
Portal
awful.
2 did come out on 360 and PS3.
Well, yeah, I just didn't do it. Anyway.
That's what I played.
I get it.
But
I played Portal on the orange box.
But I got those in the bundle.
Nice,
so
dude.
I have that like initial Valve pack to play through. Neo was so gracious to gift me Dark Souls 2.
Oh, nice.
So he gifted me that, so I'm going to play that on stream.
How'd you do that? How do you do that?
You could just give people
So
games
I
you
have
own.
a bunch of games in my Steam inventory, which are not your library.
Do they leave him and go to you?
Oh, he
Correct.
gave it to me.
I gave it to him.
Shit, that's cool as
So,
shit.
and I gave him a choice. I gave him a choice of Metal Gear Solid 5,
Right.
Tomb Raider 2013,
Right.
and Dark Souls 2.
And I decided that I would take Dark Souls since he was giving me
That's-
giving me choices about what he was going to
awesome,
give me.
dude.
So I have
know
that
that
I'm
was
going
a
to play through.
possibility.
Yeah, you can gift, and now you could even do it on Xbox. You can now gift, like when you go in, you could hit for somebody else and send them a code.
Honestly, such a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And then so I've been able to now stream too. So the build is good enough to be able to stream from the same.
Honestly, it blew my mind when you were like, "Yeah, I'm running the game at these settings." I'm like, okay, cool, sounds good," and also streaming on the same PC. And like, I was watching your test stream, which turned into a real stream.
Yeah,
and it was just like, dude, there's no stutter, there's no issue with it at all. Like,
you have a
you're going in
Ryzen
super
processor.
crisp.
Your Ryzen
I'm glad
processor.
it looked that way because it's the only downfall is the one monitor setup, which sucks. And I won't really. I could do 2 monitors if I wanted to because I have my old Xbox monitor. I just don't know for my setup if it will be. I just don't know. Maybe we'll get there. But so I've been I have like the Twitch chat on my iPad propped up, and I have the Mixer chat on my iPhone propped up. But I'm not seeing my actual stream that often.
Yeah.
But I was getting no dropped frames in OBS. I was streaming at 1080p, 60 frames per second, while playing in 1440p at 144 frames per second. And my R5, so I did go with AMD.
Yeah, your Ryzen processor.
R5 processor.
It's more than 6 cores, I think. Right?
No, it is 6 cores.
It's 6 cores.
6 cores.
That's probably benefiting you.
I did some testing. Yeah. So Apple Music playing in the background, in a Discord chat, Google Chrome open with various tabs, playing in 1440p, 144 frames per second, streaming in 1080p. I don't think anything else was running, but all that was happening, and I was using 60% of my processor.
Then what you have to do is run at least multiple games. You have to run at least Overwatch and PUBG at the same time on your computer, and then you'll know.
Why?
Know what?
What will you know?
I'm just
Then you'll know.
Then you'll know
the
if I
power.
can really
You'll know,
handle
dude.
it.
You'll know.
But yeah, I mean, that's not with overclocking the processor. That's
Right.
just the processor.
That's dope.
Because I was thinking about going in and overclocking it and messing with it, but I
really
realized
don't
I don't
think you
have.
have to.
I don't think I have to, which is unreal to me.
processors actually scale better now because they have like an overclocked mode where they'll push themselves.
It's
to
already
run
doing
higher.
it. It's already doing
doing
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it'll lower itself when you're not doing anything intensive. So I think you're fine.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm super excited. I mean, I'm reworking my brain. I've talked to a lot of people about now using keyboard mouse and getting used to my pinky having this weird need to be great at things, and it's just not. My left pinky's not great.
We were
at
chatting
it.
about some of that.
Gotta hit
too.
that control. You know what I mean? You gotta.
Yeah, it's just not
hit that
okay.
control.
PUBG, I'm good now because I played a fuck ton of PUBG. But like Overwatch, I have to play as characters that are backline characters because like I can't be in the midst of it. Like I tried to mess around with Tracer the other day, and like
you don't want to have too much pressure on you, and then all of a sudden just not know how to throw your little grenade or how
it
to
doesn't
back
work.
up. Or,
It doesn't work. Like so, my AWSD is fine. It's Q, E, and left shift that are the problems that my fingers aren't.
Yeah.
Like I'm not used to using all of the fingers
No,
that way.
it sucks. It's not good. I don't care if anyone says
Right.
it's good. It's not good. The mouse is
It's
great.
fine.
It sucks.
It's
dude.
fine.
The
It's-
mouse is great, but you from movement. Sorry to just kind of jump right
Please
in.
do. Please do.
From movement, your left thumb is all you need, and you get more control than having
is
three fingers and having to go back and forth with one finger for 2 directions. That's inefficient textbook. There's no debate here. I'm just telling you this is inefficient. Your mouse,
he's kind of right.
Your mouse is.
I'm just used to it.
Oh,
That's fine,
cool.
but doesn't mean
I'm
that
just used to it. You know,
sure.
I've been grown up like this. I've grown up.
Yeah, but you can't. Whether you're used to it and you like it better or not, you can't argue that one fucking stick is not easier and better than fucking.
Okay,
mouse-
I'll take
a
you there,
mouse-
but the mouse,
a
though,
mouse is-
precision is way better.
There's no comparison at all.
Like my Widowmaker play on Overwatch on PC is the shit I do is just absurd, and on console it could never happen. It could never ever happen. It just doesn't exist.
I was telling you this. I want to wire together half of a PS4 controller onto the end of my keyboard and just play with that and have my mouse to aim, and then best of both worlds. There it is, just
Maybe can you map one of your little knobby things to be AWS fucking.
Fuck. Well, I know what I'm doing. I'm getting it.
Maybe you just use that thing like
Yeah,
a
there you
fucking big ass arcade ball to control your
right.
No,
I
but
do
it's
have a flight joystick. Maybe that could work possibly.
who knows, man. Hey, listen,
Anything's possible.
Innovation, bro.
Anything's possible.
But I'm super, super, super excited. It's great to find. It really is. Yeah. And even like using Windows 10 again, I was saying this to a bunch of people. Like Windows 10 is a great operating system.
Except when it,
like,
except for some bullshit. It has some bullshit.
Like
I've been going through
we're not
so
going to
much
jump into
bullshit
it
right now.
But like,
It's
quite
got some
honestly,
bullshit.
like after leaving Windows, like during the like Vista days, and briefly touching it in 7 and then coming back to this, like, sure, is it my preferred platform of choice? No,
but 10
like
is leaps and bounds above.
Yeah,
7.
absolutely, absolutely, and it is better than any form of gaming anywhere else. No matter how much kind of an argument you would want to put up, it is just better, actually better for actual.
You don't think the
facts.
Xbox is the best place to play games? Why isn't Xbox the best place to play games?
Why?
Is that a thing they say? Do they say that?
No, I'm just
I
saying.
thought
He's
you were
kind
like-
of making the argument that I would make when I didn't have a PC.
Exactly, because this is the exact shit.
So you've
I
been-
could just
you've
turn
been
my
sitting
Xbox
here.
on, and my dashboard is right there. My games
I don't think I
are
ever
right
said
there.
that. I never
I'm
said
just,
that.
I'm just saying you can't
You've been
argue
sitting
against
here-
it. You can't argue that.
Vindictively, like I can't wait until he builds this thing and throw it right in his face.
Yeah, I'm never ever going to argue that in terms of play, it's better to play on a console. I'm not. I have too much humility to like even consider that. But I will argue that if I have to troubleshoot my computer, I'll kick it before fixing it.
It's honestly not right.
And that's
because
that's
that
why
is
I
a
will,
barrier to entry
that's what I'm
of
saying.
PCs.
That's why I'll never ever game on a computer. I just don't care enough to like. I care about the intellectual property. I don't give a shit about
the place you're playing it in.
I really would get incredibly uncomfortable if it constantly had problems. And I don't know if you're ever going to experience that. Maybe because you bought hardware that's powerful enough at this point.
I don't think you can ever avoid problems on a computer.
So what would you?
I'm having some problems.
What would you do if you were playing the game one day and then you couldn't get it up and going?
Same thing I would do.
Viagra,
With
you know?
Yeah, right.
The same thing I would do with my fucking 360 Red Ringed, where the fucking Xbox power supply dies. Like, it's fucking technology, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're fucking one day not going to be able to use that PS4 because something's going to fucking happen. Like, people have problems with their technology. Sure, is it a higher risk of your Windows machine having an issue over your PS4? Yes.
Yeah.
But, like, you can't... that
just has to
that
do with
me
me
is a
not
silly
being-
reason not to have a better experience in gaming. Is it an easier thing to do? Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm taking
Absolutely.
the easy way out. You know.
I wouldn't say that. I think you're putting PC on this like weird like I can't achieve this like utopia version of gaming because maybe one day I'll turn it on and it won't work.
Well, like I was fantasizing when you were talking about your specs and everything and the size of the fucking. We were talking about the size of your graphics card and all that stuff.
I just want the listeners at home to know when he says graphics card, both of his palms are out and kind of curved and just like kind
holding
of
it like
shaking.
a big old dick.
Something.
Yeah. No.
What? that's not the way you. That's not what you were holding.
A big one. No. Anyway.
You wouldn't hold. You would hold it this way.
These are
Okay,
separate.
let's not
this
describe. Let's not
This
describe
is more
what we're
two
doing.
ball sacks than like a dick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, what I was thinking of at that moment was, when it comes time for me to deal with that needing to have like a new graphics card in it.
Sure.
Right. I'm going to have to call him, Neo. I'm going to
Honestly,
have to call
dude, that's
Neo.
the easiest part. Like it's
And I'm
the
going to say,
software
Neo,
troubleshooting
can
that's
you
the
help?
hard part.
Can you help me get this graphics card into my machine?
You do realize that like that happens already. You're already on that cycle. You're just buying it bundled together in the form of a console. Like by the time you need a new graphics card, really need a new graphics card, you're on the life cycle of a console upgrade. So you're doing it. What you're struggling with is, I have to call my friend so he can like unplug the Super Nintendo cartridge and plug back in the Super Nintendo cartridge because that's really all that it is. I used him, but that's realistically when you're first setting it up is different than like
It's in pieces.
unplugging it and plugging it in the new one. And I'm not trying to belittle you, but what I'm saying is I think in your mind you're making a bigger deal out of it than it really is. Like my friends are playing PUBG on 4-year-old graphics card better than an OG Xbox One is.
Right.
So like yes, the time will come, and I would agree with Tripp. The real problem is like what if Chrome doesn't open Or what if like
I can't update my computer right now? It just
like
won't
that?
let me. And I've gone
that
through all
would
the
give me more
troubleshooting, and it
anxiety
says,
than like the hardware. Because like
Don't get me started on Corsair right now. Not going to do it.
No, I know. I know what you're saying. Software is more of a burden. I'd spent a whole year not being able to use OBS Studio.
Right, we were talking
like
about
a whole
that.
year.
Yeah.
And I just finally fixed that problem.
And that gave me anxiety. That's why I didn't like. I'm also someone that loves building and tinkering, and I did not want to do the first build. That's why I asked him if he wanted to come over, and of course he's all giddy because he loves it and he has the experience. I was like, fuck, thank God, because
Neo,
like
we
I have
need you.
You know, like
Your only hope.
I don't have.
Neo,
I didn't
you're my
have
only
any
hope.
experience with like very first time setup, and I didn't do as much research about physically crafting the machine versus like what parts I wanted.
I could not believe
I realized that like after I went to Micro Center to buy everything that like I didn't do enough research about like after I put it together, like put the Lego pieces together, like
Yeah, I wanted
how
to
did
see
I
a parts
actually
list,
get it
but-
to become a PC? Like how did I get the software installed? Like that I didn't do enough research on. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna now I have all this stuff, and now I'm gonna like go on my old computer and like research how to really put it together. No, I'm just gonna have him come over. It's easier, you know. But now I know more about.
Funny
it.
enough, you didn't plan this at all, but all the parts you picked were a red and black color scheme.
I somehow
Perfectly.
I
Oh,
somehow built a red and black LED machine without actually.
That's dope.
In the graphics
Doing
card
it on
matches
purpose.
and the cooler
Nice.
and the. I don't know how
Yeah,
that
the
happened,
only
but it
thing
looks
that
great.
the only thing that didn't happen is I bought the Black Widow keyboard that I bought is not a RGB, it's just green. But my monitor has a red LED
red ring,
stand.
yeah.
My mouse can do any color. So if I exchange my keyboard, I could have a completely black and red build. But oddly, he's like, "Did you?" I was like, "No."
This is just happenstance.
I was like, I walked around with a shopping cart in this like weird place called Micro Center that's like straight out of 1990.
Smells
And-
like the 80s.
Dude, the layout
It
of
even
that.
it has the previous when they could smoke. When you could smoke
Yeah.
indoors, it has the stained smell. I only know that because I'm an ex-smoker. Like I walk in there and it smells like it used to.
The carpets have probably never
like people
been
could
changed
walk
ever.
around with a cigarette, just hang around in their mouth when they were.
No,
like,
apparently
the
the
shelves,
Plano's the
the-
same 20 years later.
The shelves, the layouts of like the way you walk in that store just doesn't really make sense. You just kind of end up from one place
When I
to
walked
another.
in, I was just saying this to Sildaris today because
Yeah.
Sildaris used to work there a long time ago. I said I walked in and immediately regretted going there. I
I
walked in,
love. It's like my playground, dude. I love
yeah,
going
scary.
there.
I
It's
walked.
scary,
I walked
though,
in and
for sure.
I was like, no, I should have just ordered everything on Amazon. And then finally, like, I just got lucky, and this dude walked up, and he's like, "What do you need?" And I was like, "Everything." Thank
Yo,
you.
yo,
Are you going to stay with me while we pick?
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Thank God."
Yo, is the Apple section still in disrepair?
No, they
disrepair.
got rid of it.
They got rid of it entirely.
There's no more Apple section.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
weird.
So it's just fucking parts,
it
literally
was,
everywhere.
it was helpful to go in there when I was building because I could see the size of a case I was going to order, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's too big. I'm going to get a different one. So it's cool to have somewhere to like walk into and
They
see.
still
the
sell
stuff.
Apple computers though, right?
Yeah.
Right, and
yeah.
actually
Small
physically
shelf,
touch
small
it.
shelf.
That's
Got
why
it,
I
yeah.
wanted to go there
Yeah.
because, yes, like you see the pictures on Amazon and you get the specs and you read the review, so it's great for research, but there is still something to be said about physically holding a box or physically seeing the part and seeing how it's all going to fit together, and it still feels good to walk away from a brick and mortar store with the things instead of just waiting for the parts to arrive
Right.
from Amazon.
Exactly.
You know? So it's cool. I mean, the last thing I just got was my Corsair mat. I realized that I left Micro Center without a mouse pad.
Oh, yeah.
So for a few days I was
Yeah.
using just a wooden desk, which wasn't working well.
Yeah.
I was gaming with Neo, and he's like, I could fucking hear every time you pick up your mouse.
Yeah. It's like a.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't used to a high DPI.
Oh yeah.
So I
Yeah.
was like
just flying all over the place. Yeah.
every 5 seconds.
Did you-
Teaching a
get a-
toddler to swim.
Did you get a Razer mouse?
I do have a Razer.
It's got the little up and down arrows on the below the scroll wheel. for
He's
your
he's talking
DPI?
about the
Or-
DPI
or do you-
switch.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So my DPI goes from 500 to 1200 depending on what I'm doing. So 1200 is how I use it now, is how I look around. I go down if I'm in an 8 times or higher scope for PUBG, I go down to 500 to shoot because 500
Do you literally click it down when you aim down sights for something like that? Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. Cool.
Instant sensitivity change.
because it's
No,
real
I mean
quick.
I know that it's possible, but it may sound stupid, but it never occurred to me to do it like in game in the moment. I would feel like I
in a sniper mode, I want to lower that so I can get
because
that
if you think about it, like I don't have to go from top left to bottom right very quickly.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so it's great. Now that is my pain point. I'm sorry, and we're going down like a rabbit hole here, but
we are.
And this is the last thing I promise until there's something else. But
sure, naturally,
for some reason I have to constantly restart my machine. The Razer software does that. Instant feature doesn't always work.
Oh, don't tell me that because I want to switch off of Corsair so bad.
I mean, I love it. It works 90% of the time, and your problems seem like they happen 100% of the time. So the 10% I can deal with, but sometimes I have to fully restart the machine and launch the Razer Synapse software, and then the 2 DPI buttons work, and I see it pop up.
It's weird that does everything
weird.
stop responding? Is it the mouse? There's just the buttons, the DPI buttons.
It's the DPI buttons. Like the color scheme's still there. My side buttons are still mapped.
Yeah.
Everything
Something
works
wrong
fine.
with macro keys then.
It's weird. And it could just be a deep issue with. Well, it can't be an issue with the hardware if a reboot fixes it. So maybe I can uninstall and reinstall the software. But neither here nor there. I love everything about it. And all my friends on Xbox are messaging me, and I can see it because there's an Xbox fucking app on my PC. I open it and I message them like, haha, I'm fucking here. Because they see me playing like PUBG, and they're like, oh, you want to play PUBG? And I'm like, no, I don't, because I'm not going over there. So there have been parts of me that wants to go onto console and see if I'm like infinitely better now.
Oh, they're seeing that you're playing PUBG?
The Xbox app runs in the background always.
He saw me play like Final Fantasy 14 when I was
when I built mine. You were like, "Oh, dude, I see you on like the Talos principle."
Yeah,
because of the Xbox integration. Yeah.
And I see Eat More Ramen's always playing Overwatch. And I one day when I first realized that this was a thing, I messaged him and I was like, "Dude, you want to play Overwatch?" And he's like, "I'm on my PC." And I was like, "How?" And he's like, "The Xbox app." So now I can when people message me, I just launch it. It even shows up in like the sidebar, and you can respond right from there without even launching the app.
I never downloaded that on my PC. I should probably do it.
It's great. It's great
built
to have.
into Windows 10.
Yeah, you don't even have an op. It's just there.
It's just there.
Yeah, and that's how you get your
Windows 10.
Xbox Anywhere games on that.
Cool.
Yeah. So more to come, I guess. Like I guess that's
more
it.
That's all.
I'm
more
gonna
adventures.
Really talk about
I guess it's my turn, but we're already like 40 minutes into this, aren't we?
We're about 35 minutes into it.
I don't have as much as you guys, so this is good news. Only thing I have to add is I got the DLC for Zelda. Crushed it.
I haven't touched any of the additional content.
It's cool. I unlocked that motorcycle.
How much was it?
Yeah.
$20, 2 DLC packs.
Cool.
Gives you a whole bunch of new missions, new dungeons, new shrines, and then there's
what's the total number of shrines now? Do you know?
I don't know.
Because it was 120
I got
in
my
vanilla.
My number is like 110 now, I think.
Oh shit! Wow.
Something really high. I have like a lot of shrines.
Yeah.
And it gives you a whole set of new challenges.
Wait, you completed all 120 in the vanilla game?
I have to.
No, he says he currently has 110.
I have to check my tweet, but I tweeted.
I'm not sure where he is.
I tweeted my final progress when I beat Ganon.
No, I thought you were saying there was 110 more in just the DLC.
No. As far as I know, there are 120 in the base version of the game.
And yeah, something like that.
Oh, but you're saying he didn't even get all.
More.
There's more.
He didn't get all of the vanilla ones.
No. Well, at this point, maybe he's mixed. Maybe there's
it's mixed.
Some DLC ones. Whatever.
For sure. They added the Path of the Hero, which is essentially you just see everywhere you've been on the map. It plays.
It
plays
that,
out,
which is cool because every time
I watched the whole thing.
When he died, it's like.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, I really want to see that. That's
good.
DLC, right?
It's
DLC.
your entire. Literally
Journey.
your walking path from when you started the game.
I've been wanting
every
that.
depth.
I've been
every
wanting
depth.
that in every video game I've ever played.
Yeah,
it's cool.
And it's crazy because it literally triggers memories
of like, I remember when I did that.
Oh, that was that.
No, you know what I've actually wanted? This. I've thought about this in numerous games I've played. Like a game like Uncharted, I would like to see my entire playthrough without any deaths, just successes. Just see it, watch it like a movie.
And have the game
Uncharted,
like auto-create
Uncharted
that for
4,
you?
Uncharted 4 has
that. It has the ability to have me play back my movie in my successes.
It has a beginner handholdy mode where you pretty much don't die. And you just play.
No. I don't mean it that way. I don't mean when I'm live. I'm saying post the completion of the game. I finished the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I want to.
I was. God damn it, dude! I was going to make that joke. I was waiting for him to
I'm talking
finish.
about for me.
Your play
He wants
with
to see
only
his
my
playthrough
successes.
post.
I know. I understand what you're saying, but there's in a game like Uncharted, there's nothing that
exciting about going
shows
from point A
you.
to point B.
Unless you want to watch like your boss fights. specifically.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, you know how when you get to a part in Uncharted, you die 38,000 times?
Only on
Potentially?
Crushing, but go
if
on.
you play it on Crushing.
Yeah.
I would like to see a final version of my playthrough of the game with no deaths and just the successes.
Just play it on easy mode.
Or watch it on a playthrough on YouTube.
I'm talking about
Because you're
after the
only
fact.
dying because you're playing on the hardest difficulty.
Remember the theme here? The theme was post the completion of a game.
Okay.
In Zelda, you can watch your entire path. Right? That's what we originally
From
said.
the map.
I get it. It's the same concept.
Like
I know. You're not watching the game.
Uncharted is like a linear, except for the part where...
Never mind. This went in the wrong direction.
Really? Yeah.
I'm not following.
Let's get back. They're not understanding, but it's fine.
No, I think...
I get it. I get it.
Cool. Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I think
continue.
you're reading too much into what he wants to happen, and you're trying to give him a solution when it's not what he actually fucking wants.
You just want to...
All he's saying is
He just wants to
at the
watch his
end-
playthrough.
At the end, after the anguishing time that he had with all of his deaths, he would like to sit down and watch his playthrough where it cuts 37 deaths and his triumphant 38th win on Crushing he'd like to see in a continuous fashion without having to play it on story mode. The AIs are walking into fucking walls is what he wants.
Yeah.
No, I got that.
Okay.
I was just asking really...
Which is not really related to anything that we're talking about.
I guess really that's not the point
It's
at all.
not the point.
Yeah.
It was dumb. I'm sorry I brought it up.
Don't
You're not...
don't say that.
Okay.
So what's up? What are we doing?
Sorry to cut
What
you
are we doing? What's going on? You're still talking about yourself. Okay. Sorry. I really had to pee. I'm sorry. I had to get up.
Go ahead.
I already did.
What was I don't even remember what I was talking about. I don't even remember what I was talking about.
I was
Zelda?
talking to him.
Talking about Zelda.
Zelda. Oh, yeah. I finished the DLC. The end.
That's good, man. You've been playing PUBG with me, man. That's exciting. We're playing together.
Well, here's the thing. I've been jumping between so many games. I even started the Horizon DLC. I got about halfway through it. I haven't gone back to it because I've also been playing The Division. Because I've hopped back into that because Destiny 2 has been such a boner killer. You know what I mean?
I do.
I'm sorry. And I've been playing with you. I've been hopping on to do the raid lair when you guys were grouping up for that.
Which is fun, yeah.
So that was fun.
It's just, I mean, dude, we're all there.
Yeah, man.
We're not going to rehash it. I know I was defending the hell out of it, but then the Dawning hit,
As
and
you
the
should.
Dawning's a shit show.
I didn't even
And
log in for the Dawning.
The Dawning was so focused
I don't even know what that is.
on the microtransactions
their winter.
that it pushed me over the edge, honestly. Compared to last year's event, we're not
I'm glad to know you have. I'm glad you have a limit.
We're not going to talk about it.
All right, we're talking about me. Can we talk about me?
Talk about you, dude.
All right, thank you. So I've been playing PUBG. No, Division actually really good. It is everything I kind of want Destiny to be. The gear variety is so refreshing because you actually look at the gear that you have and you just put together these awesome builds of different abilities. Like I want I want all my fire techniques to be be better. So I wear
fiery.
So you get fire turrets and fire grenades that launch incendiary stuff. So I build a gear set that's all about fire.
Can you quick swap entire sets of gear?
Yes, that is
They implemented
an addition for loadouts. Yes.
So here's the thing.
So I have multiple gear sets now that I swap between depending on what I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh, have you heard of I'm sorry, I was going to, do you want to keep talking about yourself? I'm sorry. I feel like I was going to steal
It's okay. You can talk about your PC more if you want. No,
It was not. I was talking
We're talking about
this.
the Division.
Division. Yeah.
Two things. First, I'm going to talk about myself, and then I'm going to talk about the other thing.
Okay.
I really want to buy Division on PC.
You should.
I really want to.
should.
But here's
Is that
what
where
I was
you
going to
play
wait. I was going to wait
Yeah.
for a sale and buy a bundle and start fresh.
Sure.
Right? And then play it where I feel like it would be the best, which would be the PC version. Because they've done so much development from how bad it was.
I have heard good things.
That
in
what
that
I was going
vein.
to attest it to is where Rainbow Six Siege is. Rainbow Six Siege came out and was like a failure, and Ubisoft, which is crazy to me, stuck with it and listened to fans, and it's at its peak in year 3 of a multiplayer
that's
only
crazy.
game is at its peak.
And
Division seems to be in a similar place where now, years later, it's becoming the game we wanted it to be, and everyone that I know that is revisiting it is having a fantastic
Well,
time
dude,
with
I mean,
it.
Destiny in its third year.
Great game.
Was a great game.
But here's the difference between Destiny and Division right now. Is Destiny asked you for another $60 to get the same mistakes made.
We're not going down.
I know we're not.
Destiny
but
2
here's
is a
what
year
Ubisoft
one
is
as a
doing
half-year
that
game.
I really appreciate. They're not they're improving these platforms that they've already established, and they're building on them. They're doing it with Rainbow Six, Division, and Wildlands. These are all included. They're all like Wildlands had that Predator event.
Do you want me to talk about it?
Not yet. We're not
I
there
heard
yet.
great things about the Predator event.
Yeah, heard really cool things
I
about
haven't
it.
played it yet. I'm not high enough level.
So, but the Division has
be.
added so much content, even post their season pass stuff. They've
Right.
added the peer horde modes,
Which sounds really awesome.
which is a lot of fun, and it's dynamic too. So you're moving through. You pick where you want to go through these areas.
I'm
and
buying Division when I
it's-
go home.
Yes, every time.
You're goddamn
Survival mode, fun as balls.
Do you
man.
guys remember on this show talking about how poorly Ubisoft was dealing with like
Yeah.
Division issues and bugs and like community
They were
communication?
blaming the community for their bugs. They were
Literally.
banning people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
One
about the
fucking
time when I
week.
quit.
They've revamped the Dark Zone. The Dark Zone's completely different monster now.
Shit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the Dark Zone and its inconsistencies is why I quit playing the game. But
They've
I've
revamped
heard it's
it.
good. I've heard it's good.
The only thing I don't think is good is their PvP mode. Their straight up PvP mode. Just not fun.
Did they added something outside of the Dark Zone?
When I
They
played
added-
it never had that.
No, it had it has an actual like matchmaking objective
Like
based
a game
game
thing? Okay.
mode. It's just like you need certain builds to make it work. You need to know the meta of the
yeah,
the
I mean,
game.
as you do with
I'm sure if I dedicated
PvP
myself to like
environment.
playing it, I would probably get okay at it and build my gear accordingly.
Sure.
But I play with my roommate who I've been playing this game with. We just we're like we'd rather do survival or we'd rather do because that's PvP also.
you could just look up
Yeah.
on Reddit like Division.
Give me
Reddit,
some
like what's the
I have
best
a
build
fucking
for this?
stash full of gear now that I've collected over time. I
Yeah.
can just put my shit together as I want.
Right.
Doesn't matter. I have so many credits. Doesn't matter. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to.
That's awesome.
That's
yeah,
it.
no, I think
I'm probably going to be talking about Division a little bit more coming months because I'm not slowing down that much.
right.
PUBG is obviously I've been playing this game for months now. You're playing it now. More people are playing it. I'm going to be playing that game for months. So,
Yeah.
and here's the
absolutely.
thing: I want every game on Switch. So if it comes to Switch, I'll see you later.
The
okay?
Division on Switch for sure.
Listen, man,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Total joke.
You
Does
divide
not-
your time how you see
It's
it.
going to be such a better game too when
such-
it gets to Switch.
When it's portable, man,
Made it
everything's
better,
better. You know.
honestly.
I'm just kidding.
Made
I'm
it
just
better.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Locks are having like conniptions.
I think he's
Like, switching.
sleeping. He's nodding
All
off.
right. Shall we move on to the main discussion?
Please.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
You ready?
So you want to? We'll work our way up. We'll start with our.
I think we should
our
start
fifth
with
best game.
5.
How about we start with honorable mentions?
I have none.
Great.
I have one.
Go ahead.
Overcooked.
Overcooked. That came out 2017.
Yeah, I don't even know.
It's your
Do you remember-
2017.
It's your
honorable
2017. Remember when I
Yeah.
had
Yeah,
The
yeah, no, I
Last of
agree.
Us as my game of the year, like a year and a half after
Yeah.
it came out, or 2 years after
Well,
it came out?
the five games that I have all came out in 2017. I had to confirm that, but
Cool.
you know.
Cool. So
But
what
yeah,
I've got
Overcooked.
5 honorable mentions.
damn.
Yeah. And
You
no,
made
I,
it to top
I can
10.
just rip
Actually,
them.
I have one honorable mention.
I'm sorry, I have 4. I moved one from one place to
All
another.
right, let's get your one out of the way.
Fortnite.
Cool.
Their battle royale.
There it is.
Yeah.
Honorable mention.
That's on mine
Honorable
as well.
mention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was going to be my number 5
Was it?
from the perspective of like
The
a
community.
true game of the year that's made an impact and
Yeah.
a splash and everything.
Right.
Even though I haven't touched it.
Can you count that though? Oh wait, Fortnite proper or Battle Royale?
Battle Royale.
Oh, yeah, but can you count that since they were just like, we love PUBG, so we're going to put it in our... They had a press release that...
Can you love the Division because they copied Destiny?
They didn't copy. They copied Diablo.
Are you sure?
I mean, dude,
Yeah.
all of these games are like seeded by Diablo.
Don't do that. Don't have this discussion right now because you're going to lose this.
Technically,
He would, 100%, dude.
The Switch version
Just
came out this
stirring
year.
shit
Yes.
for no reason.
I mean,
guys,
come on.
the
Overcooked.
Switch version of Overcooked came out July 27th.
Oh,
of
fucking sake.
Well, the Switch version of
2017.
Skyrim came out 2 months ago. So, Game of the Year, 2017.
Game of the year. It's the best version of Skyrim ever.
They made it better.
Fortnite would be my honorable mention. I love the twist that they added to the battle royale. Sure, is it a copy in some degree to Player Unknown? Sure, but are most games copies of other games? Yes.
The crafting was a nice
The
element to
crafting
throw
is
in there.
the crafting of the forts is a really cool end game meta on how people, like, you just see people crafting towers into the sky to try and get like over to. It's a cool
Yeah.
added feature of breaking down and gathering materials. So yeah, that's a good point. I would add that as my one honorable mention.
Sweet.
So I had that. I had Fortnite. I had Stardew Valley.
Cool.
For the Switch, because that like. I know, we're joking about how like it was
Taking it with you, man.
No, here,
is
listen.
great.
I think out of how much I disagree with you guys on most things about the Switch, I think knowing and seeing Stardew that game is probably perfect on the Switch.
When it came out for consoles, it's so much more of a controller-based game.
Yeah.
Like, you've got a keyboard macro shortcut area for all of your tools, which is like the one benefit, but on a controller, it just makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
So that was playing on the Switch has been great with all the portability too as well. Then I also had Cuphead as an honorable mention.
That is one of my honorable mentions.
And
It did not make my top 5.
That's in my top 5.
Then Tacoma.
Ooh.
That was on my list of things to play. Did not get to it.
Tacoma was so good.
Good narrative experience.
Yeah, and
in space.
Yeah. Do you guys know Tacoma in general?
Yeah. It was the narrative story told on that space station.
Yeah, but the cool thing is like you're watching.
I watched you play it.
You're watching like AR recreations, so you can like literally watch what's happening in a different area of the ship during that time frame, and rewind and fast forward, and you're just watching these people around you, and just have total control over your experience of that narrative.
Well, listen,
you see someone come in and talk to them, and then you can just choose to leave and follow that person and see what they did.
Oh, really? And it just splits off these people.
Yeah.
You can just watch these people. Oh, wow, that's kind of cool. If the beginning quarter of this year is slow, I'll have to try. And
This was
it,
2016. I do have another honorable mention, but it's a 2016 game.
What is it?
It's all right.
Virginia.
Oh,
Is that like another walking simulator?
Virginia is a first-person, kind of. It's a first-person mystery adventure where you play a detective, and it's like a mystery case unfolds.
Oh,
When did you play that?
Yeah, when did you play that?
I played it on Xbox in the preview program.
Oh, I didn't even hear it.
Cool. It's not a long game. It's like the Edith Finch and all of these. It's like a 8 to 10 hours, if that, and you just have an experience, and then it's over. But yeah, that would be an honorable mention for me.
And my honorable mentions, I got Cuphead on there, so we already talked about that. Uncharted Lost Legacy. I know, slept under the radar. Not a major Uncharted game, but still really, really fun.
Okay.
Mario and Rabbids.
Of course it is.
Not my top 5, but damn, man, that game is awesome. And like XCOM is way too stressful for me. That's a stressful ass game because like your soldiers die, they're gone, like they're out of the story. Like you lose soldiers, but Mario Rabbids is just a fun time. I have one of my friends, just a fun time.
Dude, he's real loose.
You lose
it's
fun.
So is Mario Rabbids is fun, and it's a ripoff of XCOM. So what's going on there?
It's just an XCOM ripoff, dude.
It's just an XCOM ripoff. It's fine.
Oh, so it's okay for Mario Rabbids because you like it and you don't like Fortnite, and that's not okay because you like PUBG more? I'm confused.
Wait, I didn't say anything about Fortnite like that.
You didn't? I feel like that.
I didn't
you
hear.
were getting
I
to.
don't know.
You were getting.
Don't you feel like he was getting?
No,
to that?
you were getting on me about the Destiny and the Division thing.
Sure, this is just another example of how games are the
no,
same.
you did start, and you're like, well, but like it's just the battle royale because like PUBG. There was definitely like
you know what?
You put your turn signal on to go down that ramp. I don't know if we went
just,
there.
we just didn't
but,
let
like,
you.
Fair
you
enough.
Signaled. You
Listen,
signaled for sure. Dude.
Okay,
You could love the. I'm just
fair
fucking
enough,
with you, dude.
And you know what? I can't even say anything about Fortnite because I never played it. So never
Download
played
it. It's free. Download the fucking client.
I have PUBG. I have the Epic client. I don't.
Okay, it's fine.
I like PUBG.
Okay.
Anyway, Mario and Rabbids though is really good.
Just like, no, I won't fucking play that.
One of my friends who is an XCOM lover, he came over for New Year's.
Okay.
And he played the co-op with me.
Nice.
And we spent all night, like after I left your place.
Yeah.
We spent like all night playing
That's
the co-op.
awesome. That's
and then when I want to play in my bed, I can just take it in my bed portably.
That is a feature of the Switch.
I don't want to hear you about. I don't want to hear about you taking things in bed. But I mean, whatever you want to do is up to you, man.
And my last honorable mention is SteamWorld Dig 2.
Whoa,
which is on Switch.
Damn,
that's where I played it.
Wow,
it's a crazy game.
I need to play that. I played the first SteamWorld Dig on the 3DS.
Oh shit!
And again, portability made it so much more engaging. I could pick it up and play it wherever, and it was so cool how you can dig down And
you create
the
your own
paths
path.
are your path.
They're
and
your
they
paths.
stay there, which is
and then
really, really
as
cool.
you progress, you get offered more mobility and different forms of it, and you're mining and you're going back to the surface and you're selling it and you're
there's
getting better
like
and
cheesy like cowboy music. And shit.
So
It's,
Western themed.
Yeah, it was dope.
It's a fun experience,
almost
and it's
bought
on
it.
the Switch.
I almost
know.
bought that.
I gotta play this.
I don't know what the fuck this
It's,
game is.
We talked
is
about
it
it a while
Dig Dug?
back.
Because that's what it
Kind of. It's
Kind
like
of.
you're like a robot, dude, right? And you're
Steampunk
digging in the ground.
Steampunk Western.
It's a better version of Dig Dug.
where you dig holes.
Yes, but here's the thing.
It's an RPG
Love
also.
Yes, actually,
Yes,
you're right.
100%. That's all you do. But
Is what you do.
you dig down to a certain level, and you get to
Yeah.
the next area.
Okay.
So there are enemies in the areas that you dig down.
Gotcha,
There are
okay.
upgrades, and you got to find all this stuff. But the
Right.
paths that you cut into the ground,
like
stay
you can
there.
you can choose like
So when you
Yeah.
when you warp
okay.
back out, like to maybe
It's
the
your
first area,
maze. You
just
created the
climb
maze.
back up the
Up
maze
where
that
you
you
went previously.
made.
That's cool.
Yeah.
and like you could see enemies like in the walls and stuff. You're like, okay, I'm going to avoid this guy for right now, and then I'm
Yeah.
going to go here and get these treasures,
And you just-
or I'm going to go take him out, or you can just choose
Nice.
your pathing.
It plays like
great.
a Metroid.
Cool.
I started it and I couldn't put it down, and then it ended, and I was like, oh, it's over. Oh, I was sad.
I gotta play too. I totally forgot that it even existed.
All right, so
It's on Switch.
let's hit number 5 for everybody. Would you like to? We went this way. Would you like to? We'll go back. We'll keep doing this, or do you want
Sounds
to? Do you
good.
want to start, Felix?
It doesn't matter to me.
All right, just go, Felix. What's your number 5?
Injustice 2.
Injustice
Wow,
2.
cool.
Wow.
Now, there's very specific reasons for this.
Okay.
You're allowed to have reasons.
Well,
for things
one,
you like.
okay, so Ed Boon is the developer
Neil's like,
with,
no, you're not.
with NetherRealm. Ed Boon. Hello.
Yeah, we know.
Yes.
We know.
Okay,
He
so
makes
What do you
Mortal
want me
Kombat.
to say?
NetherRealm created Mortal Kombat.
Stop yelling.
My entry game back into fighting games was Mortal Kombat. It's on the shelf over there. I played it about 10 minutes. Never fucking played it ever again. I just don't give a shit about those characters enough to go further with it. Taking that same template, they apply it to Injustice 2. I love the characters, obviously for other reasons. But the coolest thing about this game was it was an RPG. It has RPG elements built into it. The gear collection and the gear building to build your own sets and all of that stuff kept me coming back to the game. It isn't just the DLC characters that they're releasing that keeps me going back. It's actually all of that. Constantly trying to build up gear in order to finally beat a boss is incredibly satisfying. And I actually just did it recently.
It's really interesting for a fighting game to do.
I really did this
because they normally don't.
Do you remember my first reaction to that? How I had to use AI loadouts to defeat the bosses?
Yeah, that confused me. I wasn't all.
It didn't
about
make
that.
any sense to me either. But then I start to understand that there are perks. There are RPG-esque perks that come along with certain gear that give you higher DPS, basically. And I didn't realize this. And when I started to figure the system out, it got very interesting because now I can add certain gear to certain characters in order to defeat certain bosses who require that. And it's just been keeping me going back to the game over and over and over again. It doesn't. In other words, normal fighting games, I lose interest in 10 minutes. I don't lose interest at all with this game.
They gave you a proper hook.
They gave me something to keep coming back and back and back and back and something to build towards. And it's not like wrapped up in some kind of like paywall where I have to like buy more in order to continue or any of that bullshit. You know, it's just all there. I mean, the characters aren't. That's the paywall. You have to pay for these extra character releases. But other than that, I mean, that's why it's been the most satisfying.
Ninja Turtles coming soon.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I don't really care about that. It's going to be interesting when they come in.
Yeah.
But when they come in, it's going to be fun to like try and find different gear sets to make them, you know, play better against other characters. You know, so I don't know. It got me back into fighting games, and that's something I haven't done in years. Not only that, I finally realized that fighting games don't have to be button mashed at all. You know, back in the day, that's all we ever did.
Street Fighter style.
But I learned, like, you know, I learned how to do that. So it's been great. I know you guys.
Ed Boon's games are very heavily combo based.
Well, if he comes out with another Mortal Kombat and he builds in, you know, gear sets and all of that stuff, and I can go in that direction. I mean, this echoes a lot what you're saying about the Division, right?
Well, just adding the gear.
It's a different
RPG
style
elements,
of game,
yeah.
but when you add all these different gear sets and you try and figure out, because you can do the same thing, you create loadouts for each superhero. So it's a lot like what you were describing with the Division.
That's how you make a good RPG, where it makes you think about how you want to build your characters.
Yeah, like how can I defeat this boss? What gear do I need in order to get the win?
They call that min-maxing.
In terms of the AI loadout thing, you have to do a lot of AI loadouts before you can actually kind of get to the point where you've reached the ability to do it yourself. You know what I mean? Because the AI loadouts help you defeat super overpowered enemies.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Like you kind of, it's almost like they're your training wheels.
That's and then what, you take them off to fight the boss?
Yeah. Well, they help you to unlock gear that then you can use to fight the boss.
That's such a weird way of going about it, though.
I know, it's strange, but once I understood
it's like anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm done.
No, it's fine. I will say that we can't do that for all of our games.
No, yeah, you can't dive in like that. Yeah,
sorry.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate
my other
games.
You know,
number 4, you're saying it, fucking driving down the highway.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Number 4.
No, you're not yet.
Not yet.
No, I was going to say the rest of the games don't have in-depth explanation. Okay. I had to explain this one because everyone at this table wouldn't understand it.
Why? No, these are our personal game of the years. There's no debating this. This is.
I'm not going to be like, oh, you're wrong.
Yeah, fuck
no,
you, man.
I know
not my game of your hashtag.
I know you're not going to say you're wrong, but you're also somebody that doesn't play fighting games. And I was never somebody that played fighting games, so that's why I thought I should explain it.
I believe you.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe
All right, what do you got?
Prey is my number 5.
I knew it was going to get there.
That was almost going to make my list.
Prey was like open form BioShock in space, which I loved, with a quest system, with choose your own adventure, truly, not just being guided through a path. It was a lot of fun.
So I should pick it up if it's on Steam sale.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I love it. My number 5 was Wolfenstein 2.
Cool.
I've heard great things.
Mainly because it is. So Wolfenstein 1, I played through first on like a combo deal I got. And it is unapologetically a run-and-gun first-person shooter that does it better than any other run-and-gun first-person shooter, with an obvious cool theme of, like, you just kill Nazis. Why is that not awesome? And you have absurd guns, and you do absurd things, and you dual-wield guns that are not possible for a human to actually dual-wield. And
apparently the narrative is, like, insane.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Yeah, so they did a great job with the sequel. That's my number 5.
My number 5 is Resident Evil 7.
I was hoping someone would put it up there.
They brought it back. As I was hoping they would, and they tried the first person. Didn't play the VR mode, but I hear that was really fun. But they took Resident Evil 1, and then they brought it into the modern era, and they succeeded. And they made it creepy and eerie, and it made me want more Resident Evil again. And
no, that's awesome. I agree with you.
I have memories of Resident Evil 1, and it's scaring the shit out of little Neo. I'm saying the real name. Little Neo.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to pick that up and play it still. I still haven't played it, but I'm excited for it.
Get that on that Steam sale.
Oh, listen, the library's going to grow soon.
It's going to grow.
It's going to
grow.
Put
them all on the wish list, and then you'll know.
Oh. Yeah, add things to wish list, because you
can
make them public.
My Steam app will then my wrist gets a little tap. It goes, "Hey, that game you wanted is on sale right now," and I'm like,
"No,
yeah, that's a thing."
Oh, this is a bad thing.
It's a very bad thing.
The other thing that I wanted to question, side note, before we get to number 4, can I go and someone got me a GameStop gift card? Mm-hmm. Can I go buy a Steam gift card with my GameStop gift card?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I don't want any. Why
would you get anything?
Yeah. Well, he was doing a good gesture, because I did want some console games.
Dirty disc of like fucking, I don't know.
Yeah, something.
I can't even think of a shitty game you'd want to go pick up used. That's how bad
I'm gonna go buy the Steam gift card.
Do that.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Number 4 for
Number
you.
4.
Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Nice.
And my main reason is it feels like The Division, except there's no bullet sponge. It's just one shots.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So it feels exactly like The Division, to be honest with you.
Nice.
So you should play Metal Gear 5. I'm just saying. And it's putting it out there.
Hold on, it's in the Narcos setting. I'm a big fan of the Narcos show.
Yeah, you are. Right. So that's a good theme.
We were chatting about the environment.
Yeah, I'm reading all of the like.
Here's the thing, Felix. Yeah. If we all had PCs, I would be like, we should all just play Wildlands together.
I would, if we all had PCs and can play together.
Yeah.
Because my one buddy Skills that mainly streams first-person shooters. He actually just got partnered on Twitch.
Oh, congrats.
I watched him play Wildlands with a 4-person crew in like a PvP setting.
It's fun
And
as fuck.
Oh, it looks so
So
it looked
fun.
like a lot of fun. Yeah.
I mean, I did buy it for the Xbox. If you find it for $10,
The only reason why I didn't get
play
it
it with
was
you.
because I couldn't get enough people to like
know.
be like, oh, I guess I'll get it. Like
Just
we
just
just
for
finished
you.
Metal Gear Solid 5. It's very similar, but none of us really want to put the money and time into playing it.
But
together.
Yeah, I think if
you did say you'd periodically play with friends on the Xbox.
if there's a
every
sale, which there won't be for that game for a while, but when
now and
there
then.
is,
Take your time.
I'll buy it for sure. Especially the Predator mode seemed really cool.
yeah.
Seemed like a really
It's
good idea.
limited though. It's
Well, yeah,
going to go away.
it's an
eventually.
event,
Yeah,
right?
it's an event.
It's going to go away.
Yeah.
Events are the new thing, dude.
All right, number 4.
Number
Trip Zero.
4 for Trip Zero is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Whoa, okay.
Seems low on the list,
Shit.
I know, but I put a lot of thought into it.
I just
and
realized that did not even make
it didn't
my
hit your
list.
top 5.
I just realized that.
Wow. That's all right. I mean,
Holy
you're allowed
shit.
to do what you want to do.
Wow.
But I mean, we've talked at length about what this game did for open world games and how good it felt and how real and how open and engaging and the story and you've read about
We've
it,
been there.
you've seen about it, you've heard about
Nice.
God, I feel bad now.
You
What have I,
shouldn't.
what have I
You're-
done?
it. You're an adult.
You're adult. You can make your own decisions.
No, I
Number 4
don't know what.
for me.
He's broken. He doesn't know what to do.
Number 4 for me is Cuphead.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Cuphead. I mean, I don't really need to go into too much detail for it, but for me to play a side scroller and feel like it was innovative again was pretty incredible.
Not just like pixel art. for
No,
the sake of-
like
you know what I mean. Like it actually did something.
The
new.
hand drawn cells of that game alone deserve
Yeah.
so much recognition and award.
And the difficulty too. Like it's not just a game where like you
I
just
like-
sit there and appreciate the art. Like
Yeah.
it's painstakingly difficult.
I like that you
especially
have
if you
like
do
3
multiplayer.
HP. Like you have
Yeah.
3 HP. It's 3 hits.
Yeah, especially if you do multiplayer, it's even harder.
Does anyone else realize that Locke's playing all these games that I didn't even know he ever played? Aren't we doing a show together?
Yeah, but I don't find the need. And I was thinking about this when I was making my top 5.
I think we
don't,
talked about Destiny way too much.
No, I don't
Probably
feel
true.
I don't feel a need to talk about every game that I play. It's just not who I am. I talk about the games
you
that
spent
I,
like weeks going like, yeah, I played Overwatch for like 45 minutes, and I was like, hey, I'm cool.
I mean, 'cause that's kind of what happens sometimes. Like Cuphead, I sat down and I beat.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
I had
Like
no
it-
idea you
like
played
I just
Cuphead.
played it.
Yeah, I never
Virginia
beat- I
is
never
a game
beat it.
that I sat down and I just beat. So
I
like
think-
when the next week rolls around, like I'm not. You know what I mean?
I want to make an observation,
I don't know.
Felix, because the way
Yeah.
you just said that was like, I don't know that I didn't know that is a game that you played, but like I think you say that in a way that people play games now, which is like this ongoing existential thing where like that's the game that you're
Oh
playing.
no,
Like,
that's
what
just
game
how
are
it
you
is
playing?
with me.
Right, I know,
Right.
But that's coloring your perception of people's gameplay.
Oh
Status.
sure, probably.
Like you dipped into it, played it, beat it.
Right. Yeah.
Like he talked about a game that's on his honorable mention that I didn't know he played.
Which one?
Tacoma.
Tacoma. Yeah.
Oh, Tacoma.
Didn't know it.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, I guess
I
maybe
would-
I
I-
can. Can
no,
I
I
do a
wouldn't-
better job sharing?
No, I.
Is it me? Am I the
Well,
problem?
is this
He
couples
played-
therapy?
He played Tacoma when he was in California, so he was not on the show to talk about it.
Yeah, but
I
like
just remember seeing you go live.
No,
and
I
popped in
watched
and
him
something.
play it.
Yeah.
I watched
Yeah,
him play it.
I watched you on Twitch.
anywho,
But yeah, look,
Cuphead.
No, don't be offended or anything. I
am not.
I didn't hear it.
I am not. No.
Okay,
4.
all right. I think my list is all fucked up now. I'm just saying.
You
This-
legitimately look bothered.
What?
I
Just
am.
give me your number 4.
Because he was so prepared and he thought he was going to be
Look,
the
dude,
most
if you
prepared.
need-
I literally thought I was like,
He was-
none, of,
he was
none
all-
of these bastards are going to have a list when we walk
Yeah.
in tonight.
You're yelling. I'm gonna need you to take it
I know.
down one.
Okay,
notch.
I'm sorry.
Just
I'm
one
sorry.
notch. If you need to do an on-show redaction, I'm okay with that. But get through it as it is now. Unless like,
What
are
is
you
your,
embarrassed
What
by
is
something?
your
Like
fucking
what's
number
up?
4, dude?
When you play
Hellblade.
like,
Okay.
Hellblade.
What's wrong with that?
I mean,
what's wrong with that?
Nothing. No, these games.
I thought you had like
Nothing's
some, like,
wrong with these games.
It's like he wrote some like Steam anime game, and he's like, I'm embarrassed to say this out loud. I don't want to tell you what I'm playing.
yeah, like
Like
My dating sim is-
I can't.
I can't talk about
I can't
it.
tell you
Guys,
guys what my
number
top
1.
5 was.
Sims.
The Sims.
The Sims.
Okay.
All right, so you had Hellblade. We don't need to
Hellblade.
talk about really why. I mean, we get it.
No, it was a memorable game, and it stuck with me for a very long time.
That's a very important part of your game of the
Yeah.
year. It's something that
it stuck with
I'm
me.
going to experience at some point.
Yeah. All right. What do we got for 3, Felix?
Assassin's Creed Origins is the best Assassin's Creed out of all of them because it takes all the great features from the previous ones packs it all into
And
the
none
same
of the shitty
game.
ones.
I mean, it's
And,
actually really
it's-
good to hear
It's incredibly polished
that they've
too.
finally developed a game where you could say the latest entry is the best versus like the latest entry is just like another entry. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they've finally made a game that's
It's like a car that was driving and someone just put a brick on the pedal and they're just like, wherever it goes, it's going. It's
Right.
fucking stopping.
Exactly.
Someone's like, let's get fucking just calm down for a minute.
I've noticed that like musically, like the score takes elements from all the previous games. The mechanics take elements from all the previous games. It's the motherfucking biggest out of all of them. In terms of scope, it's probably the size of what I've realized Ghost Recon is. Like those two games coming out this year, it's not a surprise because they're talking to each other. They're communicating. I'm really surprised it doesn't have the multiplayer that Ghost Recon has. Where
that's not their fan base.
yeah,
not who they're
maybe
going for.
not.
I
Not
think
in that
I
game.
think they
Yeah.
benefit from not focusing on that.
Well, they crashed.
I would
They
agree.
crashed and
Yeah.
burned with Unity when they had a multiplayer feature in that. So yeah, it was good.
All right, trip 3.
Number 3, Super Mario Odyssey.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't stop playing it until I did, but I played it for a long ass time. Just
Nice.
3D platformer to the max.
Felt-
Perfect.
feels
perfect,
great.
Perfect current gen 3D platformer. Perfect Mario polish, sound, audio, music.
Hits all those notes.
All those notes. Yeah,
That's the thing you do in the game,
Yeah.
by the way.
Can't
And
wait
just-
to
and
experience
I
it.
think also what it did really well too for Endgame. Like when do you think of like Endgame in a platformer? You don't.
Yeah,
like you
sure.
there was so much more to do that literally didn't unlock until you were done like beating Bowser, and then you had to go back and find more things and
Wow.
just
And
the
then
levels
the
changed
moon
and
opens up and
it just
yeah.
it was so much that you didn't even know existed. And like I would have been fine with the game as it was, but then it's like I got a second game with
That's
my
awesome.
game. Yeah, so it was really well done.
Nice. Number 3 for me is PlayerUnknown Battleground.
There it is.
That is also my number 3.
I don't. The reason why it is on my. The reason why it's number 3 for me and why it's in my top 5 is because I relish competitive gaming. Right, I relish the adrenaline of winning, the adrenaline of.
You feel it, right?
Of course,
You
I do.
feel
yeah.
the
So
you
I
feel
think
the rush.
it is not a great game.
So there's a rush, man.
I guess what I'm going to say is like it's mechanically there's still elements that are really poorly done. So it's not a finished game, right?
Did they ever add prone to it?
Did they add what?
Prone?
Yeah,
it's
prone.
that was it from the beginning.
Yeah,
Was
prone's
it?
there. They just added vaulting.
Oh, vaulting. That's
and-
what wasn't
and-
there.
Yeah, before you had to master this weird like jump at the
Crouch.
right
They
moment
had a jump
thing,
crouch
yeah.
thing you had to do.
But it really does hit the feeling that I used to get competing in like Halo tournaments and being able to do that over and over again. Like I die, I lose, I just jump back in it, and it can be just as competitive. And the randomization of it is great because no one has a true advantage. You start fresh with really if your shot's
Luck of
the
the
best,
draw.
it's great, and luck of the draw. And playing with friends is fantastic. I've played a lot with Neo. I've played a lot with other friends, people that have left console that have been trying to get me to build a PC for over a year now, which is great to reconnect with them. I got to play with Brown Jellyfish, which was just
Yeah, I was watching that. I was
That
watching
was
that.
absolutely hilarious.
Dude,
'cause
Brown
he's-
Jellyfish
I
is so
was-
fucking funny, man.
so
He
much
is
fun.
so funny.
Follow him on Twitch, people. Brown Jellyfish.
Me and
Look
him
for
playing was fantastic. So for me,
He was so
Yeah.
fucking reckless, but it was so funny to watch
Yeah.
you guys play together.
absolutely reckless. But it is a great multiplayer experience, even if you are not looking for the competitive aspect to play with just one other. My favorite mode is duos. I prefer playing in duos versus squads.
I would agree. Squads gets a little out of hand.
It does
Yeah.
very much out of hand, and it's too much to manage, in my opinion. But it's still really fun because you get to play with 3 other people. But for me,
you and a
it's
buddy seems
fantastic game.
pretty focused.
It
tight.
is. It's good.
tight.
It's good. So I it's definitely number 3 for me.
So it's my number 3 as well. I'm not going to go as in detail. I talked about it a lot on the show, but just the whole feeling of going through the different stages of a match is you land. It could be you want to do a hot drop and you want to just get right into the action and fight a whole bunch of people, or we're going to drop over yonder. And then there's a slow build. There's the gathering, and then you're running, and then all of a sudden circle gets tighter, and the feeling of dread comes over you, and you're like, okay, I see a guy in the distance. Let's get into position. Let's hide. Let's start attacking, and then all of a sudden it culminates in this end of match.
Where you get headshot and you're dead and you start again.
Well, that,
Dude,
that can totally happen.
It's crazy. Really quick anecdote. My first win in duos was a game where when we got towards the last circle, I had nothing but ammo. That's how poorly looted I was.
Oh, yeah.
And we rushed a house and killed 2 people, got fully looted, and the circle was luck of the draw on us, and we won the game.
If you start with a bad drop and you have junk, you're like, okay, we have to find someone to kill so we can get geared up right now.
Yeah.
And otherwise we're going to be bad in the end game.
Yep.
And there's different meta strategies to just doing that.
Yeah.
And it's such a great game.
It is a good game.
Which is why it's also on my list and not Horizon. I don't know why I did that.
Number 3, I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Felix, what do we got for 2, man?
Well, not to add salt to your wound, but Horizon Zero Dawn is my number 2.
Okay.
That was just an unbelievably satisfying story, and it was a great open world experience and great collector. I loved it.
Yeah,
I thought it was great.
It's awesome.
If I may.
Didn't play the DLC though.
You may talk again when it's your turn.
No, wait. Hey, you interrupted me plenty of times, you son of a bitch.
Are you verbally printing a retraction?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
I think one of the reasons why it didn't occur to me as Game of the Year is I started it, and then Zelda came out. I played it on Wii U, and then I forgot about Horizon. Then I picked it up again, and I was like, okay, I can finish the story. Fantastic story. But again, I started the DLC, and I stopped myself again. It's for some reason, it feels as beautiful and gorgeous and amazing this game is, and it's a technical feat. But I kept stopping myself because other games and experiences felt more appealing to me. It just felt like a cookie cutter open world at the end of the day. I know I already get a lot of shit from my Discord.
It's
peeps.
okay. I'm gonna tell you why I disagree with you because it's my number 2. So, but it's fine. Your turn. I didn't mean to skip you. I just needed to
Go
tell you.
on,
It's okay.
damn it.
It's okay.
I didn't have much to say on it. All I was going to say is that. Go ahead.
What's your number 2, Trip?
Number 2 is Persona 5.
Ooh,
Nice.
I love it. I love
Changing
it.
it up.
Nice.
Thank God.
That's definitely a good subjective title.
When I was compiling my list, I knew what number 1 was going to be. I think we all know what
that,
a bunch of people's number 1 is going to be. At least 2 people at this table.
What? No.
Well, now probably 3.
So there were a couple things that were they were locked in, and I'm like, oh damn, Persona came out this year. And then when I think about experiences that I have in games and why I play games, and a big part of it is losing myself in another story or another character or another person. With Persona, it's a weird as shit wacky game, but you literally get the experience of being a high school kid in Japan, down to the fact that you're going to school and then going to bed and getting up the next day and doing the same shit. Maybe you're meeting some friends after school. You get to decide if you want to go work at a part-time job or go study to get your skills up, which benefits you later on in the game. There are benefits to your actions, and I realized that I would play this for hours and be like, damn, I just lived another life for a hot second. Now I'm gonna go back to my real life. There was
the role playing and the role playing game
in that.
Do you ever play? You ever play Shenmue? Do you ever play it?
No, but
Yes.
I've heard.
Yeah, I
Are they
played
similar?
I played
Like that.
1 and 2. No, not really. This is
Okay.
more of an RPG mechanic. Shenmue is more of just an action adventure game where you're just living. You're doing
life.
the forklift. You're doing
Yeah.
the. I even kickstarted
It's not
3.
that-
So
it's not that
I'm
in-depth
ready for. I'm ready for
in
that.
terms of a life sim, but you get the best parts of just dip into someone else's experience for a little bit, and that and the music. The music is absolutely incredible.
I didn't play it. Still downloaded the soundtrack.
I still listen to the soundtrack,
Yeah.
the full 100 track whatever, the big one, and just rip through that. It's funky, it's soulful. There's actual vocal tracks. There's full band. It's the styles are all over the place, and it's so fun.
I love that battle music, man.
Yeah. I think it did take out my my number 1 spot for post battle victory music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
Yep.
The specific win for Persona is just, it's short, sweet. I'm gonna find it for you guys.
No,
It's so
I know
good.
what it is. I know exactly what it is.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna find it because I just want to hear it for myself. But we can go on. I'm done with Persona.
Number 2, Horizon Zero Dawn.
All
There
right.
it is.
I have to disagree with you about it being cookie cutter because I can't play open world games because they are cookie cutter in my opinion.
Right.
This is the only game, and this is a personal opinion, but this is
think
the only
about
game.
it though, right? It's got your waypoints, and you go to the waypoint. It tells you where to go, and the one thing it did really well narratively with the side quests, I think it did really well to bring everything you did on the side back together for the final mission,
which I
was
think
nice.
most don't do.
Witcher 3 did that as well.
I would agree with you.
Yeah,
But
did
I
that
think this
very
did
well.
it better, in my opinion.
Okay.
I still
It was
put,
it was cleaner. I would say it was
it
way
was.
cleaner. Yeah,
It was.
Yeah.
It didn't feel clunky. I didn't feel like I was running to the top left of the map from the bottom right of the map because the game wanted me to, but because I wanted to explore. The environment was fantastic. The battling system, the fact that I'm shooting a bow and arrow at a robot that is made out of metal, and I am using this thing that should be a gun, and the way that I could slide and slow down and shoot certain spots, and I could be precise, or I could lob bombs, and the
movement and the choice was very, very smooth.
For me, there are definitely problems with the game, but there has not been a open world game that I have sat down, and I haven't finished the game yet because other things have come out and have taken me away from it. But
you have my copy of that, right?
I do.
Yeah. That's.
I haven't sat down and played and put 30 plus hours into an open world game in years, since when Skyrim actually fucking came out. Right? Is the last time that I have a save file for an open world game.
Just wait till you get a Switch.
No. I won't even buy it for PC. I won't do it.
You don't want to have mods, man?
I will wait until they make a new one, and I will play the shit out of that. But for me, for someone that has bought plenty of them, I bought Witcher 3 and I fell out of it. I've bought other open world games and I've enjoyed them for the first 3 to 5 hours, and then it doesn't keep me wanting more. Every detail of the world, learning more about the tribe, learning more about the environment. Why am I fighting metal dinosaurs with a bow and arrow? Like that, it kept me wanting and wanting more. And talking about it makes me want to go and play it, even though like there's another part of me that wants to just keep and play like 9 multiplayer matches of PUBG.
Let's fucking do it, man.
That's the struggle.
In my vein.
But for me to have a game resonate with me in that way when it hasn't in a long time, that format of game would put it as my number 2.
I still feel awful. It's not on my list.
You shouldn't. What's your number 2?
Mario Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey.
That game made me feel things, man. Smile like a little kid on Christmas.
Like a little Neo
feels
Aoshi.
good, man.
It feels real good. Dude, everything in that game was it was beautiful. It had...
Good, man.
It feels good, man.
Hashtag feels good, man.
Feels good, man. Everything in that game was just so well polished. Its soundtrack. After I finished it, I went on YouTube and I was just like, play Mario Odyssey.
That forest track. Is
yeah. It's like that surfer feel.
Yeah, like the surfer the tone. It's so good.
Man, New Donk City is great. The whole midpoint of the game when you go to New Donk City, that was the greatest gaming moment I think I had all year.
The New Donk City finale sequence is incredible.
It took me back to my uncle's house when we played Mario Bros.
Nice.
That's what it did, and it just did so many things to me. It messed with me on a nostalgic level, which I don't know if it's like the most fair thing or way to judge a game on, but like it knew what it was doing. Like it knew it was like celebrating Mario and like 20, 30 years of Mario.
I think it's a very fair thing to judge a game on.
You think
so?
It
made you feel that way, and you loved it for that.
Yeah, this is a subjective list.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
But even that is something quantifiable, because I promise you're not the only person that felt
definitely
that.
not.
And they designed the game to invoke that. So that's in my mind a very quantifiable thing.
Yeah, and even visually it was beautiful. Sound design, it nailed everything that you would look for in like a top quality game, like gameplay,
but
design,
more too,
level, and like the levels were tight and great, and even it felt large, even though it was
they weren't,
but like
they were.
There
was so much to do.
In every corner of the game.
They were dense. They weren't big.
So dense,
right? They were dense.
Oh, and it felt good, and it feels good to run around as Mario. Like he's just a pleasure to control. Everything about the game is just fantastic, and that's why.
Ridicule.
Would you like me to just say my number 1 and then you guys can talk about
alternative form of ridicule.
Number 1 for the podcast.
2. A small women's bag made of a woven net-like material.
Say something else.
No. I mean, that is my number 1. But like,
please, let's be real.
In terms of the podcast one, I was going to suggest that might actually end up being Horizon.
I'm okay with that
because it's on all of our lists. Different levels for sure.
I'm not.
Neo's over here.
It's killing me. It's killing me.
But you're sitting over there going, "Damn, it should have. I think it should have been." Like you feel bad that it's not.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
a lot. I feel very, very bad.
And as good as I think Zelda is, and I think it is truly game of the year.
Truly,
it's not one of yours.
That's okay. But like if I had a Switch, which I won't buy, but if I had a Switch,
we're gonna buy him a Switch, guys.
Please don't, because I won't touch it. I'm being really honest with you. I won't play it.
That's so weird.
I just won't. I know me. It will
He's being a
literally.
realist.
It will literally sit there.
Fair
He
enough.
just got a fresh new PC.
I know. He's feeling how I felt like 2 years ago when I built mine.
I'm letting you know that
PC.
like when everyone's like talking about like the code name for the new Nintendo console is when I may get a Switch. So there's plenty of time in between. I will try and emulate that game somehow before I would buy a Switch, or I would borrow his when he's tired of it and would play.
We'll talk later.
Yeah, I know. But anyway,
No, I can definitely loan you my Switch at some
yeah,
point.
but maybe.
Yeah.
But they're like that shouldn't sweat. I don't. If we feel like Legend of Zelda is the best game, which I can't put it on mine because I can't put a game that I haven't played on mine, doesn't mean that it shouldn't be the podcast. Just because it's not something, because I could appreciate from watching you play it, from reading reviews, from hearing everything about it. If we want to be different, then sure. But like, it's not mine. Mine is Hellblade.
Damn.
Wow.
Mine is Hellblade.
The number one. That's pretty cool, man. He's out here. He's out here with the opinions. I love it.
well,
Dude,
his,
Hellblade was absolutely fantastic.
no, him and Snacks the Cat assessing Hellblade makes me want to play it. I can't put.
Well,
it
makes
on
me
my
wanna
list.
play it, too.
I believe
Can't-
that was me assessing it with Snacks the Cat.
Yeah.
He was saying that
I'm
I
saying
played
on
it
on a
afterwards.
separate
Oh, yeah,
moment.
yeah,
On a
right.
separate moment.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying.
There has
Yeah,
never.
you were included in that discussion.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
There has never been a game that has been created that was so cathartic.
It was something else.
And that's a personal opinion, but for a video game to create something so meaningful and do it so well, and it not be a AAA studio, it's not a one-man shop, but it's a smaller studio. And for it to be a $30 title, and for it to create something that on a very deep level affects the world, actually the real world, and created in a game that is centered around something that I love, which is Norse mythology. It was a truly incredible experience, and I did it in a few sit downs. I did the first one on stream, and then I finished up the game afterwards. They deserve all of the accolades that they can receive, and between sound design and the research that they put into it, and even though the fighting mechanics were very simple, they weren't anything like robust. You really just had like a block, a dodge, a roll, and a hit. Mm-hmm. The boss fights were absolutely incredible. For the game to trick you into doing things that you didn't even realize you were doing because you were listening to voices that were happening. Like almost in like
a lot of sub
like
text,
subconscious,
yeah.
like you heard roll and you just did it, and then that's when
Like
you got
literally
hit by a
behind
boss,
you, or
like
like,
look
yeah.
behind you and the boss is not actually behind you to your right, he's behind you to your left. It's an incredible experience. So I definitely I talked about it before. I definitely recommend anybody play it, especially for $30. I'm actually kind of upset that I have it on PlayStation and I don't actually have it on PC, but because I would love to see what that world looks like on a higher quality setting, of course, just like
nice.
anything else. But for me, definitely Game of the Year. Outbeats Horizon for sure. So Hellblade.
Wow.
Yeah.
So everyone else here is number one is Zelda, right?
Mine's Breath of the Wild. Is that for you, Felix, too?
Yeah.
Now you've spent the least amount of time with it. I want to
Yeah,
say.
but that shot right to the top.
I've
of your
played
list.
it at multiple points this year. I played it in March, and then on Wii U, my brother's Wii U, and then I got a Switch, and then I just crushed that game. Mm-hmm. But you've only been in it for a little bit. What are,
Yeah,
what
I'm
are your
also
impressions on it?
not doing it off of any kind of real sense of nostalgia. So
No, because you've never. I don't think you have.
no, that's
played
not
Zelda.
true. I just figured out that I played Link to the Past because I forgot to mention earlier. I bought a Super Nintendo Classic. We have one of those.
Oh,
you
cool.
You walk past it out there. It's connected
saw
to the
it.
TV.
I saw
yeah,
it
you
sitting
see,
there,
you
yeah.
see.
That's why I honestly hopped into my project because I'm like, well, I'm not going to spend all this money on these.
But I
consoles
remember-
that I tried to get and I can't find stock
Right.
of.
That's why I started emulating.
Make it
So
myself.
wait, why is it? I know why Trip loves it so much. I know why everyone here knows why I love it. Right?
You guys did a whole thing on it.
We did many things on it. I'm sure.
Did I ever tell you how much I hate puzzles? Like I hate puzzles.
Yeah,
You
No,
did.
he
You
does.
told us
Yeah,
when he
we-
talked about
Right.
the
The Witness is the first thing that comes
So
to mind.
I absolutely don't like games like Myst, or Witness, or I haven't. Not saying I've played the Witness.
You don't like
but
I'm
anything
not
that's
offended.
puzzle-based.
by
games
things
where I
you
have to
don't
figure
like.
out and Resident Evil to an extent, like older versions of it.
Sure,
Where I have
yeah.
to try and figure out the puzzle. I get kind of frustrated sometimes.
Yeah.
This is like the first puzzle game, super open world, where solving the puzzles was not.
So I
like,
love that you call it a puzzle
That's
game.
how it starts.
I love that you call it because a lot of people forget about the whole puzzle. I've been having a lot of discussions about Game of the Year and stuff.
Game.
The Divine Beasts are puzzles.
The Divine Beasts are huge puzzle boxes. That's all they
The
are.
shrines are all puzzles.
They are, and people forget about that. And I compared it to my love for Portal. Each shrine is a test chamber, essentially.
Yeah, true.
Using
I'm
the
so
mechanics.
excited for you, Locke, to play Portal.
Oh, you're gonna
stream it.
You're gonna
excited.
freaking
I'll
love it. I
be
can't
there for
wait. I
every
want to
minute.
watch that. I want to watch that.
But the one thing that stood out to me about all the shrines is I ended up overthinking when I first started playing the shrines.
Sure.
They're incredibly logical to a point of minimalism.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Beautiful
don't have to overthink. They're easy. They're not hard. They're just there. And you can just, if you just clear your mind, you can figure them out.
But one of the things that I talked about that I loved when the game first came out was the freedom to create a solution.
Right.
There's have you been through the Divine Beasts? I don't want to ruin too much.
No,
of the game
I'm
for you.
starting my first one right now.
There's one Divine Beast. I think it's the
The water one?
it's the camel one.
Haven't got to that. I haven't been to the desert at all.
There's a mechanic where you have to like essentially carry power from different points of the beast to other points to power
Electrical current.
Yeah, to literally power like movements and elevators and platforms. And there's like at a certain point there's like two of these like metal balls that you need to like put into two spots to continue a current. I couldn't find the other one. Like as stupid as that sounds.
So what did you do?
As stupid as that sounds,
I know what you. I have a
couldn't
feeling I
find the
know
other
what you
one.
did.
But what I did was I dropped all of my metal swords.
Yes, you did. I knew you were
on
gonna
the
say that.
ground, and I created a literal line of my weapons across the floor until it connected and charged the platform, and like turned the thing on.
That's so cool.
And I ran in to get the chest, and then picked them all back up, and the door closed, but it didn't matter. I got what I needed, and I could go to the boss now. I found the ball after the fact because I was just stupid. I missed the room, but
you
dude,
used-
that was possible.
You used something that you knew that you could do, and you implemented it into your solution. You created your own solution.
My
essentially.
like wooden weapons, my bows and arrows and things didn't work. It had to be like all metal equipment. But as long as I dropped that,
Yeah, but that's a learned concept that happens when it sucks that I had to find this out from somebody who's watching my stream who told me the answer, but I was trying to figure out why I kept getting struck by lightning.
okay. Yeah,
You get struck by lightning because you're equipping metal weapons.
and this
And I
rolls
didn't
in-
know that was a mechanic in the game at all.
This rolls into something we were talking about too, and another reason why I think it's the best of this year. It doesn't tell you a single thing, and you find things out through experience, and you learn things through trial and error, and you feel. Pay attention, EA. You feel a sense of pride and accomplishment.
Bingo.
Because
Right.
Nailed
you
it.
truly do this thing on your own. There's no tutorial that guides you
Never
through.
holds your hand.
Do you remember
Every mechanic is purely self-discovered. It's purely something that you did because you went to that area and had that moment.
Do you remember the first moment where you felt that way? Because I know mine specifically. The moment I felt that, where I was like, wow, this is the real puzzle of the game. The real puzzle of the game is organically learning the mechanics, right? Mm-hmm. My moment was I swung my axe at a creature and missed and hit a tree and then realized I could cut trees down. I went, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, so,
Such a
because
little thing, too.
earlier in the game, there was an apple. And I tried to you could climb the fuck out of anything. So I was like, oh, obviously I climbed I climbed this tree to get the apple, but I couldn't reach the branches. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why can't I get this apple? I know I can get it. I can get apples. But I was like, I couldn't figure out. So I ended up playing fucking hours after that, not understanding that there was a mechanic that gives you the ability to cut down any tree in the fucking game, except for the super massive fucking oaks or whatever. And when I cut this tree down by accident, and all the apples were on the
A
ground,
light bulb just goes off.
I went, "What the fuck? I can cut trees down, And then I just started cutting the fuck out of trees. I cut every tree down. I was cutting trees down like a mother. And then I realized I could cut them down. I cut them up further and make like wood, and then I can use the wood to build campfires to keep warm in the fucking cold part of the game. Holy fuck! My mind just went fucking blown, dude. Yeah. Like that's the reason why it's my game of the year. The puzzle is discovering the mechanics. And that's the coolest thing about the fucking
Felix,
game.
I love you so much right now.
Sorry.
No.
I just whoa.
Don't apologize, dude. I'm
It's like you blacked out and you just came to. You're like,
I
I'm
love-
sorry for
I
what
love
I just
that-
said, but
I this is why I wanted to hear what you thought on it, because
Yeah.
it plays with everyone in different ways, and it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy how they do this without telling you anything.
If anything, I would say, Locke, just borrow my Switch to play it when I'm done. That's it.
Sure.
That's it.
don't force him to play
Don't
it.
for it.
I even got a
do it
nice
when he
little
wants it.
Xbox style Zelda
Okay.
controller he could use.
All right.
I was thinking of you when I bought it.
Locke would love this controller. It's
Thanks, man.
it's like an Xbox.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
I actually was thinking of you when I bought it.
I mean,
No, but seriously,
No,
dude,
I
I was
was.
like
I was.
literally, I picked it up and I thought of you.
I was paying for it, and I saw your face in my
I was
brain.
Locke would probably want to use that controller.
I appreciate that. I do. One day I will play it.
Yeah,
I will.
cool.
I mean, there won't be another one for years, so I'll play it.
listening to you, it makes it easy to hear why it's, I think, game of the year. And I've gotten into many conversations online with people about like why Horizon versus the whole Zelda versus Horizon argument has
They're
been
very similar and both
They're
very
similar.
good, and but they have their own strengths and styles.
correct. Whereas I feel as though Horizon uses a lot of already known open world tropes, whereas Zelda goes, "Nah, we're not gonna use all of this. We're gonna just give you a blank map, and we're gonna give you a tablet that lets you point at things in the world, and then you're just gonna be the one to go, oh, I see that thing there. I'm gonna go over there and see what's over there."
Yeah, I
and
thought-
that's how you play the game, just by exploring the world. People can say it's open and empty and vast with like nothing to do, but like
I've never agreed with that.
I don't agree with that
sentiment.
either, because every time I'm running, I find something and something happens. Some kind of little story plays out, or anything of that nature.
I will say I still have to look things up. There are some things where I'm like, God damn it, I'll just use the internet for this. But the thing that I like about it is usually I don't discover that there's so much more. Like I'll go look something up and I'll go, oh, okay, well, I pretty much had that, as opposed to like there's this world of things that I missed, and in looking up on the internet I really needed to do that if I didn't. It's usually just like there's one thing I missed in the mechanic or something like that. So I only had to do it once, to my knowledge. I was live on stream and I had to I had my phone right here and I was just like, well, I'll look up how to accomplish that. But most of the time I can figure it out.
Right.
Sure.
So do you guys want to talk briefly about what we're excited for 2018? Because that's all we have time for.
Right after I talk about why 2017 is the year of Nintendo. No, I'm not
We
going to
don't
do
have
that
time
now.
of that.
We don't
I was
have
gonna be
time
like,
for
you're gonna lay that shit down and just like brute force this content? Right,
I'm not
onto the
gonna.
end
I'm
of
not
the
gonna do
show?
that. I'm not gonna do that. I still believe it very heavily, though.
That's great. That's great
Locke,
for you, man.
You make me so mad sometimes.
I know.
You make
That's
me
why I
so
do
mad.
it. That's what I do
2018.
here.
There's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, I got a list of
Sony's
stuff.
got, I feel like, the strongest possibility of having the strongest lineup, hands down. They got God of War, Days Gone, Spider-Man, Detroit Become Human are all slated to come out this year.
Those
Red
are
Dead.
actually not a single game that I was going to name that I was excited for.
That's insane.
Days Gone, don't care.
No one cares about it. I know.
What else
do.
did you say? Because I think
it
I
looks
blacked out a
fine,
little
but
Hearing those titles, made me
Spider-Man, maybe.
I mean, I'm Spider-Man. 100%.
Of course you are.
I'm
Maybe though.
Spider-Man.
Maybe though. What else did you mention?
God of War. I know.
Absolutely not.
We've talked about that. Yeah, it looks
Nope. So
okay.
I mean, they're on my list, but I'm not most excited for them. They're on my
Detroit
list.
Become Human.
that yes.
I'm very
I'm
much
very excited for that. And
I'm
that
in
is
on
that is exclusive, right?
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I have that. I have Last of Us
Yep.
2.
Lessons too,
That's
yeah.
definitely not 2018.
We're gonna hope that it's gonna be.
We're,
I'm just-
we're hoping.
I'm just saying. Then you know what? Death Stranding's coming out this year. Okay.
no,
fuck
but
you.
that's fucking not.
Okay. Well, neither is Last of
we're
Us.
gonna get
You
another
cannot
cutscene with a
even
weird
put
baby.
That development hell of Death Stranding that's going to exist.
I believe. Okay.
You
I
are
believe.
fucking delusional.
I believe 2018.
I'm kidding.
Anyway,
I'm kidding.
I
I know
got,
it's not coming.
It's gonna be a random dude on stage covered in trash and holding a baby. That's what it's gonna be.
I
Norman
got,
Reedus.
Yeah, with a fucking camcorder, taking a video of the audience to see the reaction.
I have
very
Sea of
avant-garde.
Thieves. I have Sea of Thieves.
Oh yeah,
which I'm
everyone's
excited for.
excited about that. I'm
That's
not really.
that's something we can Xbox PC up. I believe we can
I think
all
that's
play
gonna
that
be
together.
cross-plat.
Yeah.
Oh, if we discover
Yeah.
that, I'll
Guys,
probably.
we're
play.
all
We're
going
gonna
to
be
be
running a
fucking
ship.
pirates.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm going to believe.
Forgot that was coming out.
I'm going to believe.
It's a toughie.
I have Monster Hunter,
That's this month. That's this month.
but I'm going to wait for the PC version.
Oh, by the way, guys,
cool.
Flower's going to stream that. She's
yeah,
streaming that.
she's starting her streaming career with that game.
Yeah,
It's
so
awesome.
Flower's going to be streaming. So check
I
her out.
have-
Sleeping Flower X.
Ni no Kuni 2.
Cool. That's a PS4.
It is. And then last other one, which I recently found out about, which I'm really excited about, is Vampire,
Oh yeah,
which looks real good.
looks
I
real
don't
cool.
know about that.
Vampire is a action-based RPG that takes place in London in 1918 during the flu pandemic, where you play a doctor that it has also become a vampire. And it's your internal struggle of like the Hippocratic oath on how
Yeah, I
you like
heard-
save people during the day, but you need
But
to
you also
kill
want to
people
eat people.
I heard it's going to be
and you could
like
do
Fable.
yeah, you could do full story completion without actually killing anyone.
Yeah, or you can
go,
do it
But you can
full
just
on
go
vampire.
fucking nuts.
or you go full blown nuts.
Yeah, I'm going to do
And
that.
that's every.
you are.
Well, you're probably gonna do. You could do all. You could do multiple playthroughs.
Yeah.
That is everything. PS4, Xbox.
Damn,
and,
I had no
we'll
idea,
see.
and I'm
Sounds interesting.
very intrigued.
Yeah, it looks good.
Wait, I need to give a quick shout out to this list that I have here.
Please do.
It's been compiled by a person named Demos from the Lunar Castaways podcast. So he was nice enough to let me use this
That's awesome.
this document.
Thank you very much.
Demos.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, bud.
I have a lot more games. Are you ready?
Sure.
Are you just going to fire them off?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not
I know.
coming
That's,
out.
absolutely
That's
this year.
That's not coming out.
You serious?
Yeah, it's not.
It's totally coming.
Yeah, sure.
it's coming this year, dude.
Yeah. Right
Why would they?
You-
There's no way.
It's coming out right before Death Stranding.
Yo, fuck
Well,
you,
all right,
man.
all right. It's definitely before.
I was
Death
joking,
Stranding.
dude. I was
accurate.
I
That was
was
accurate.
joking about Death Stranding. All right.
Listen, I know. I just like to fuck around.
I mean,
with you
this
guys.
year
Yeah,
would-
it'll probably come out.
This year would be their cycle.
If
Their
they-
cycle's
because
8
no
years.
one's missed it.
If they
no one's missed a
targeted,
due date
if they
before.
targeted,
God damn it.
if they literally printed marketing materials with 2017 on it, someone somewhere had to look at their plan and go, "Look, I don't believe you, but I'll print it once, right?" And then obviously that changed, right? Clearly that changed, and now we have a whole year where they haven't really kind of.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't it say spring?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Uh-huh.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I definitely think
Yeah.
it's.
Look, someone pays the bills, and someone had to say, "Yes, this
I
poster is okay because
I
you're
fucking hope that I'm
here."
wrong. I really hope that I'm wrong.
Bare
But like
minimum-
Kingdom Hearts 3
Yeah.
has been a game that was supposed to come out like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 15 had a fucking date on it
did.
too.
Yeah.
All I'm saying. Keep going.
Oh, did the Final
by the way,
Fantasy VII remake?
Final Fantasy 7 is on the list as well.
Yeah, that's not.
I don't think that's coming
not-
this year
I don't
either.
think that's
I know,
coming
I'm
either.
just saying, I
gonna
don't think
just
that's
not
coming
even
this year.
try to fight that one. That
Yeah.
game might not ever even exist. So
The
the screenshots we got now are good. I'm just gonna look at them for the rest of my life.
So you got Anthem. That's supposed to
I'm
come out
excited
this year.
for Anthem.
Supposed
All right, so here's how
bated breath, yo. We got to reel
very,
in,
very bated
reel
breath.
in the hype with that.
So here's how this is my
I
current
don't,
update
I don't think
on
there's
Anthem.
hype, dude. I'm not.
There was so much hype behind that trailer.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, not now though.
Not now,
there's nothing I gotta reel in.
Okay, cool. Okay,
I'm just.
okay,
It's it.
okay, okay,
I'm not excited
I
for
don't.
that.
I don't know what
I don't
he's
really care.
where
I
what
don't-
he's going on over there.
It just.
okay.
I like space shit, dude. And like
You love
multiplayer.
space
This is what I remember I was
I
I'm
want to
very
be an RPG Iron Man. I think that looks great.
I've
but
very
like,
much hardline said I was
EA's
not
gonna
supporting
EA
Anthem.
it. You know what I mean?
However, I thought about this on my drive over here, which was very short, so it was not.
Oh, this
well,
is okay. This
it was
is
not a well thought out
2
thing.
minutes. 2 minutes.
But I thought about it.
thought about it short and hard.
Yeah. If EA can course correct the shit fire that they've started and course correct it with Anthem, and
Dude, if you want to talk about 2017 shit shows, EA is definitely one of them.
absolutely.
Mass Effect,
They went-
Battlefront.
no, they
come
went.
on.
And Mass Effect is the reason why I don't want to support Anthem.
Mass
but if they
Effect
can,
died because of this
if
game.
they can course correct it and they can create a fantastic soap opera in space,
That's what I want.
I will probably end up supporting Anthem. But for right now, until they can prove to me that they're fixing their business model,
So they have work to do for you.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. What else we got?
Untitled Tomb Raider game, probably called Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Ooh, yeah.
Because they did tweet out saying, "Hey, we got something coming in
Wasn't there
2018."
like a secret hidden message? Everyone found the first letter of the sentences was
Yeah,
like
and
Shadow.
Yes, they did that in the tweet. Yes, I did. Report
Wasn't that after they saw someone's laptop on the train that said
Correct.
Shadow?
That
Which
was
is a more
that was months.
hardcore,
That was months
solid
earlier.
evidence of the
That was
title,
months earlier
for
yes.
sure. But also, they tweeted the first letter of every sentence adds up to Shadow, so now confirmed.
Just gonna put this out here.
We
There's
also
tons of Switch games coming.
Well, also the two.
Tons of Switch games.
I'm gonna pick up Anthem on the Switch for sure.
I was,
I'm very excited for it.
I was going to say the Tomb Raider movie's coming out this
Oh,
year
it is.
as well.
Yeah.
So.
All right. What else we got on here? Anything else worth talking about?
Tons of Switch games. I'm not going to bother reading them because
That's great.
Here I go: Bayonetta 1, 2, and 3, Metroid Prime 4, Untitled Pokemon game. By the way, there was supposed to be a direct this week announcing the 2018 lineup. Didn't happen. I was very upset about that.
Because actually, no video games are coming out in 2018. We're actually all going to play fucking Skyrim
I don't think
for a year.
Nintendo didn't plan
they didn't.
this success. They're like, guys, we don't fucking have anything. We thought we were going to be out of business. Everyone likes us now. What are we going to do?
Everyone's
dude?
buying
We gotta make games
our product.
again. Oh,
They
fuck.
just put into production like 30 games.
Yeah.
Like we thought we were all going home
5 years from now.
permanently.
Darksiders 3.
Eh.
I know. Shadow of Colossus remake.
I mean, it looks
Could be cool.
but there's so many other priorities.
I know.
Remake.
That is not
and
necessary.
A Way Out, which is the fuck the Oscars guys game. Remember that?
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
That-
I was excited at the time, but like the other
we
titles
have,
coming out.
Yeah.
Fuck the Oscars.
Do we have the State of Decay 2 slated for this year?
Oh yeah, no,
That's-
that's set for pre-order. That's like March, dude.
If that is, do we believe that may be crossover? But because that I'll buy for Xbox and play with you for sure. That would get me back to Xbox.
Yo, I don't know why he was. TBA. Okay.
Yeah, I've already pre-ordered for Xbox, and I think it says either March or April.
So we got a while.
I don't have that on this list. You're screwing up, Demos.
Like March or April? I just bought tickets to Black Panther. That's like literally in February. That's close. It's a month away.
It can't be that. It can't be out that soon.
I don't know.
And that's what I got for 2018. Anything you guys are? Does 2018? Is it looking bright and shiny? Is it looking good?
We've talked about
It's
them.
hopeful.
Yeah, definitely hopeful. We'll see.
It's hopeful.
We'll see what actually happens.
I think for the first time in a long time, the hand is in the gamer. I think you know what I mean.
Go on.
I think
Go
like
on.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
like
All these companies are now fighting for our time.
they are, and I think
'Cause-
they
yeah.
for a while had all of the power because there was nothing we can do. Get your point out.
No, I was just going to say, normally when a game says some kind of like date that's not real, it'll be like end of the year, December 31st of that year.
They mean
State
quarter
of
four.
Decay 2 says March 31st, 2018.
So they mean quarter two or 3. 2?
That would be
2. Quarter 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never
They're
fucking
aim-
get this right.
They're
Is
aiming
it-
for that.
Q1 2018 was like November, January, right? Or like October to December?
It depends on the company.
Yeah, it depends on the industry.
See, that's
as well.
why I get fucked
Yeah,
up.
Yeah, because it's different for our job than it is for other
So
jobs.
I worked at
Yeah,
GameStop for a while, so I know what their quarters are because they go by a calendar year because they care about the winter. They care about the when the biggest times to get people in the stores and buy games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think for all of the reaction around Battlefront
Yeah.
to be what it was because of us shows that, of course, we don't have any real power,
No.
right? Obviously not.
Buying power is real power. And if
It
people
is,
make
it
enough
is, but
of an effort.
But so many games this past year did this fucking
Yeah, but
bullshit.
like, I'm going to call you out for a second, Diamond Jab. You said how much you disagreed with it, but you went and did it anyway and bought it
Yeah.
and played it. So, like, yes, we do have buying power, but like we're also like nerds and still do it
Sure.
and support it. But for there to be that much backlash, for them to institute something and patch something almost immediately into the game to address our concerns as a gaming community means
I think Disney has
that
power,
it's
too.
that it's starting and Star Wars coming out,
Yeah.
starting to shift and shows that we do actually have a voice that is being heard to a degree. The fall of Destiny 2. For directors to constantly have to tweet out week over week and say, we're going to be more transparent with you.
We hear you.
We're going to change.
We hear you.
We hear you. We
Yes.
hear your concerns. These are the things that we're doing. For PUBG to get all of these these updates on Xbox within months of changes from the community and from Reddit means they're reading Reddit. They're reading Twitter. They're looking at hashtags. yeah, at the end of the day, they're the corporation and they have the power, but it means that, at least to me, I feel like we're leaving 2017 with a greater sense of what our voice means as a gaming community than it did in the beginning of 2017.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which means that I'm kind of hopeful for 2018.
Dude, that hasn't just stayed in gaming. Like, there's been a lot of movements this year.
Yeah.
Because people are fed up with how things are, and they get together and hopefully change things for the better. It's all about using your voice, your position.
Trump's still in office.
Son of a bitch.
He is.
We're working on it.
No, I mean, we're not.
No,
we're not
we're
working
not.
on anything. We have a few more years till that's over because that's when his term ends. We're not working on fucking anything. We're all idly standing by.
Working on it by working through it.
State of Decay 2 is cross-platform.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
So you're going to get it on PC.
Yes.
So you get it on PC.
So every year so far that I've been on this podcast, I've said there's like a theme that happens throughout gaming in that year. One year it was MOBAs. Everyone was trying to do the MOBA thing. I think last year I was like, it was the year of the open world. Every company was doing an open world. The year before that was like, I don't know. I don't remember.
Before last year's open world?
Yeah, like was it the year of the indies, the rise of the indies? I'm trying to remember what I've always like put like a
I don't
theme
think
to
we
it.
were. Well,
What would you
we
call-
weren't a show like 3 full years ago. We weren't podcast.
I'm just saying.
He's just saying in general.
in general.
talking in his head.
I'm talking in my head because I always apply a theme to a year.
Yeah, I don't know if I remember.
Before he got a
all the releases
microphone, he
of
was
this-
just talking to his mirror.
I was just,
Of a
I just
serious
yelling
year.
in the void. So, what would you apply to like 2017?
the year of the update, the post-release patch.
I don't know. That's been.
If
But
you're
like-
looking
Yeah,
for
but-
like a gaming trend,
I mean, you started complaining about open world games at the beginning of the year. Like
Yeah,
you were like,
you
"There's
did.
so many fucking open world games." coming
Yeah,
out. I'm
yeah,
tired
I
of
was.
this shit.
I was tired of it.
Multiplayer, community focused things.
I think like community
lot of
focused, like
battle
long term
royales,
development, like battle royale will be 2018.
I feel like that's next year.
Yeah, because every first person shooter is going to look to add a battle royale mode.
A
of
game
some
called
sort,
Paladins just added that mode.
which is absurd because Paladins
that-
is a ripoff of Overwatch.
Yeah.
And now
that looks like a good concept too, because you've got battle royale,
Abilities.
and then you've got like now those class based kind of.
Right. So
Rock, paper, scissors
and there's
situation.
there's no way the next Call of Duty game is coming out and not having a battle royale mode.
Yeah.
Right. So like I think we're going to see an oversaturation of that in 2018, but I would agree with you that this long-term development multiplayer experience has been what 2017 has been trying to create.
Or competitive, just distill it down to that, like competitive experiences.
Yeah.
Even down to like card games. Think of how many like IPs have card versions now.
Yeah.
Like Elder Scrolls.
Yeah,
card,
Hearthstone hasn't died at all.
right?
Yeah,
That's
Still the most
they're
popular,
Making more
and
money.
there's-
Yeah.
Well, that was definitely
Gwent was this
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
that's interesting. See, I would call it the year of the monetization, the loot box, the
Year
rise
the
of
loot
it,
box.
the
Yeah.
rise of the loot boxes.
The year of the critical mass of the loot box.
Yeah.
Like they've been around.
Yes,
Definitely
they
been
have.
around.
They have definitely been around.
They've hit that point.
They did critical mass.
We don't have to
So,
label
yeah.
it now. We could history will tell.
Mm-hmm.
We don't got to label it immediately.
Cool.
This is Lock and Key signing off for episode 150. Thank you for listening to what we've been up to. Thank you for listening to our games of the year, the podcast game of the year, which is Legend of Zelda. Thank you for I know that was a real plot twist for that one. But thank you for listening. You can find me on Twitter at lock_key. And I just changed my Twitch handle. I didn't know you could do it.
Oh, what'd you change it to?
It's just lock and key all spelled out instead of lock_the_n_key.
I want to do that so bad for mine, but I keep checking, and I can't find one without underscores.
That's why I just did the lock and key.
Yeah.
No underscores. Because I wanted to just do lock, but that was taken.
Yeah, but Trip
Then
Zero
I-
was taken.
I know. So I just did it all spelled out
mad, dude.
because I was originally then going to do capital I OCKE because it looks like lock.
Oh, yeah.
But then I didn't want to have to say to somebody capital
Yeah.
IOC.
That
So-
sounded great when we were all like freshmen in high school.
Yes.
But now we have to like tell somebody, oh, this is where you find me online. It's
So you're
just a pain
officially
in the ass.
Lock and Key again.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, but when you
back to
I think when you load my page, it just says lock because you could set a display name and then a URL name.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I've always said when my name was more annoying than it currently is, if you just follow me on Twitter, each time I'm going live, I always tweet it out, usually beforehand, if not right when I'm going live. So if you follow me on Twitter, you can catch me there and you'll be able to see when I'm going live. I'm going to get into the habit now that I can officially. I mean, I've been streaming already way more than I have in the past 6 months to a year, just in the past week and a half to 2 weeks since I have the build that could support it.
Are you getting a lot of people in there?
Not really, no. But I think most of the people that followed me early on have moved on to other people or whatever.
Are you adding the Team MC hashtag?
Yes.
In all your tweets?
Yes. Cool. And I'm in the community on Twitch. So I'm going to be playing Dark Souls 2 thanks to Neo. I'm going to be playing Portal. I'm going to be playing PUBG, some Overwatch. So just drop me a follow on Twitter, and then you could follow me on Twitch, and I hope to see you soon. See you later for 151.
This is Neo Aoshi. You can find me on Twitter, Neo_Aoshi. I should stream. I should just stream.
Yeah, we'd
You
love
should.
it.
Just turn it on. Just turn it on.
Turn it on.
Why not?
Yeah. I'd play a lot of PUBG.
That's fine.
People want to watch me play PUBG, right?
I'd watch you play PUBG unless I'm playing with you.
You are playing with me.
I am.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
It is.
Yeah, that's how you can find me. Twitch.tv/NeoAoshi. No underscore there.
This is Trip Zero. You can find me on Twitter and on Twitch at Trip_0. I'm not going to put a hard and fast date on it, but I'm working towards streaming too. But like you said, man, just got to turn it on.
Just turn it on.
Oates is on my ass about it, and he makes fun of me whenever I'm like, I'm going to stream, and then I'm like, he's like, you ain't streaming. I'm like, I'm going to stream, and I don't stream, and he's like, nah, I didn't see you on there.
Sometimes I just appreciate
yeah.
the act of privately playing a game, you know? Sometimes it's Sometimes
but
it's nice.
No, absolutely. So do I.
I'm setting up hopefully a Monday, Wednesday, Friday 9 to 12 situation for my streaming. I'm getting things ready. I do want to play a Master Quest playthrough of Zelda like from scratch because I haven't touched any of that stuff. So I might like hop back in, just
Breath of the Wild,
like total fresh. I mean,
don't remind me of that. I could just.
I have to do Last of Us. I want to play through all the BioShocks again. I got ideas. I got plans.
BioShock
And I got the
sweet.
palette all set up so I can get a little. I got a desk situation, dude, for sure. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. We'll be here. Trip_0.
Yeah, and this is Felix Hergood on Mixer and Twitch. It's Felix Hergood together, smushed together. You know, Felix Hergood. And right now I'm rotating through a bunch of different games. I mean, I'm rotating between. I'm doing a no-HUD playthrough of Assassin's Creed Origins, which, by the way, they updated it. They added a nightmare mode. And they took away the reticle entirely. So for even arrows, I don't even have the ability to aim. I have to figure out how to aim in third person.
That sounds like a horrible time.
No, it's great. It's so fun. And then I'm doing Zelda, and then I'm doing now with people who come into my stream. I'm doing Ghost Recon, so people have been joining me for that. And then occasionally I do Battlefield 1, Overcooked, Injustice 2, a bunch of games. Yeah, just a lot.
Look forward to it.
All right, dudes. We will catch you later.
Have a great week.
They somehow made it better.
Here's the thing.
Stop using the wrong word.
We joke about these games, right? But Skyrim in 2011, fantastic game. That thing was fucking groundbreaking. And awesome.
Can you rewind to what you just fucking said? Because it's 2017. And you're talking about a 2011 game being groundbreaking. What you is that you get to play it portably. It doesn't mean it's better.
It's portable.
They made it better.
It's better.
That's literally what he was saying why he didn't want to Switch. I mean, it's fine that you like the portability of the Switch. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But like...
So wish this could be in the show.
But like...
It's all right.
Go on.
We got tons
Again,
of
we're talking about a game that came out in 2011.
Yeah.
Bonus,
And we're talking about how great it is to run around and play with it.
bonus
It's
for
so
the online
good,
stuff.
man. I love it.
Granted,
I haven't played it since Thanksgiving.
Yeah, of
I'm
course
just
you
going to
haven't.
put that out there.
Of course you haven't.